with his bird's eye view and a brain to match is Mr. Know-It-All.
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Festa, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Saturday, August 22nd, 2026. Well, where in hell's the year gone? Holy cow, Scooby-Doo was just saying that earlier today. Well, I've been enjoying it slowly, one day at a time, because trust me, when you're going 6 days a week, yeah, things can drag a bit. But on that note, let's go ahead and welcome in our audience. Yes, I'm actually set up to do that today, and I didn't click the button in the wrong way. So let's go ahead and welcome in our participants and see who the hell we have out there. Well, would you look at that? The Greasy Weasel's not at the top of the poll for once. He's not even here. Who else do we have out there? Let's take a look. We have Andrew Davies, Aussie's out there, along with Avi, all the way from India. Good to see Avi. We got Digger Dog and Eliza T. I see Elvis. Elvis is in the studio. Yes, he is not dead, folks. Francis Tremblay's out there, along with Geraldine Durazio. We got Grateful Benny, Jay Boone, Kelly Barot, and those piercing blue eyes. Great to see you, Kelly. We got Keyway DJ, Light Melinda, Max Metal. Good to see you, Perfectly Imperf, along with Phil C. Psychosomatic Insane. Rainbow's out there, along with Sandy Thing. Thing. The Sandy Thing, yeah. Along with Scooby Dooby Gooby, we got Scott Fletcher. Two of them in a row. How about that? Stank Buns is back for the win. Now we got Stargazer. Super Unknown. The Truth Master, not the Thrust Master. Well, it's close enough. Timbo's out there along with Wasteland Wonder, and we got our dear friend Yellow Tommy Tanker, also known as Andy. Wow, it's a smaller audience today. You could actually get through it and have some time to spare. On that note, let me go ahead and jump into the studio. Thomas. Here we go. We made it. Yeah, happy Saturday, everybody. This is the day of the week we take our production time and turn it back from 6 p.m. Pacific to 2 p.m. So it's actually 10 p.m. to our friends across the pond in the United Kingdom, and 11 o'clock to our friends over in who've been overrun in Europe, except Poland and Belgium. They're doing a pretty good job over there. Not Belgium. Yeah, close enough. Oh my God, yeah, I've got a migraine going on right now. I just decided to stop by and say hello, and it decided to stay along with us. But on that note, let me go ahead and bring back the man I woke up last night from a slumber. Say those 3 words, Mike, how the hell are you?
Oh, I'm doing well today. Rested up from last night. So at least now we'll be able to continue with the show and cover what we're going to talk about today. It should be good.
Yeah. So, I did say Avi Loeb. Avi Loeb is coming out again, Mike, and he's actually going ahead. Oh, yes, he is. He's back. You know, he's like a what do you call it?
Bad penny keeps popping up.
No, he's like what do you call it? He's like a politician. He's playing both fucking sides of the coin.
Yeah, which, you really got to choose one. You can't be on both sides. Doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No one told him that.
It's true.
I know. It's true.
Let's see if I can find this. Where the fuck are my bookmarks at now? Goonie Goo Goo.
Oh, that's Eddie Murphy.
I know that. Okay, this is from, he's on WS's. Yeah, I think he's on WFLD TV. Yeah, WFLD TV in Chicago. It's a clip coming from UAP James. Let's get into here and see where Avi's going to take us, shall we? I think I already kind of set this up a bit. Yeah, where the hell's the button here? Let's click this one. I think it should work. Close enough. Zoom a little bit bigger for all the videos. We're not going to play. Yeah, we're playing videos. So let's get into this, Thomas. All right. Move them up a little bit higher so we can see them better. And let's see where Avi Loeb is going to take us today.
I'm most curious about the testimonies that were given by people like David Grusch and other former employees by the U.S. government who claim that there is material from crash sites of definitely objects that were not manufactured by humans, and in principle it's possible to see those materials, and that of course will settle the issue. We don't need to do more experiments if the government already has some materials from crash sites of non-human made technologies. But before I see that, I don't know whether to trust these stories. It's all about the evidence. So obviously that will be a
I think this even ties into what Matthew Brown was saying yesterday in that thing, saying that people don't trust him when they should. Let's continue.
Shortcut to get to the answer, and I'm very intrigued by these testimonies. I hope that the whistleblowers will get full immunity. They will get they already have non-disclosure agreement being waived by the deputy to the director of national intelligence, hopefully they will have all the legal assurances that they need, these whistleblowers, to guide us, to perhaps even give us a guided tour to those places where materials or even spacecraft are being housed, if they are out there.
Well, interesting statements coming from Avi Loeb, but unfortunately, we'll have to remind our viewers that Avi is not a citizen of the United States of America. I don't think he is. No. Or is he? We'll have to double check, because if he isn't, he cannot get national security clearance to go ahead and see this kind of stuff. Could he, Daryl?
I don't honestly know that.
Well, I think Mike might then. Mike, what say you?
Yeah, there's no way he's going to get national security. National clearance to be able to see anything that David Grusch was talking about. And the government wouldn't authorize that anyway, because if they were, they would just release it publicly, which we both know they're never going to do.
Right. And I don't think they're going to be getting full immunity where they can go ahead and talk to anybody on like WFLD TV in Chicago or CNN or Fox or even our friends along with Ross Kohler on News Nation.
No, he's considered a naturalized citizen. He holds dual citizenship.
Oh, he does. So he could potentially get it then. That's good.
But he also said at the beginning of his counsel being stood up that he did not want to get any national security clearances because he would then be obliged to withhold information. He didn't want to do that. So Avi is personally against it. He doesn't want clearances. Instead, he wants the president to release all of this. That's what he's pleading for. He's not looking to get a national security clearance. He's looking to get it for free.
He did say he was going to be on the governance board, and then don't you have to be, have like a top secret clearance to be in that group?
I would assume so, yes. But he's not there yet, and I don't think he's concerned about that. Yeah. Right now, he's pushing just to get the president to release everything, make life a lot easier. It's not going to happen, though. President won't do that. It won't happen.
It won't happen. It won't happen. But that reminds me, I think if I go back here and go to X again, I think I've got David Grusch's plea from earlier this week. Let me get to that. Search. Are you? Let's see. It's Grusch. It should be here at the top. Oh, we got Avi at the top. Here we go. We've got a message here. I believe we should have one here from David Grusch, and we've got another one from our dear whistleblower friend Matthew Brown as well. So let's listen to Grusch's plea one more time.
My name is David Grusch. I'm a former career Air Force intelligence officer and former senior official at the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. I've already provided classified testimony and evidence to the Intelligence Community Inspector General and Congress about what I learned about unidentified anomalous phenomenon and the involvement of the United States, allied nations, and adversary governments in the retrieval of technology of unknown origin. This included photographs and videos of these operations, including the craft and the non-human occupants. And I've seen this evidence with my own eyes, and I've had these discussions with our nation's most senior leaders in a classified environment. I am prepared to provide a full historical accounting to the National Security Council principals and the White House Chief of Staff, and make any supporting public statements that are authorized to help this administration move disclosure forward. Ready to support Stephen Miller, Vice President Vance, and the administration immediately to identify the records, programs, and people involved in bringing any improperly concealed activities back under lawful presidential and congressional oversight. Mr. President, give us the authorization, and we're ready to go.
So, David, I must have mistaken hearing him in the last time I heard this, or last couple times I've heard this. He says he wants to go ahead and provide the information. Oh, Jesus Christ. He wants to provide the information for the National Security Council, the president, and different people within the executive branch. And he's happy to go ahead and make statements to the supporting statements that are clear to the American people. So I think he's kind of gone back from that one statement where they're saying that they want to tell everything to the American people, Mike. Good move.
Yeah, well, look, we both know David Grusch spoke with the ICIG.
Yeah.
His complaints were found to be credible and urgent and then forwarded to Congress. But he recently has also been saying that he wants to be completely released from his national security oath and be able to speak freely.
That wasn't that one combination message that came out from James Fox. But what I've got here now, we have whistleblower Matthew Brown, and I think he sings a different tune.
All right, let's listen to see what Matthew Brown says.
Here we go.
My name is Matthew Brown. From 2018 to 2025, I served as a national security contractor supporting the Department of War and the Department of State. In these roles, I was entrusted with our nation's most sensitive intelligence at every level of classification, along with operations designed to counter our adversaries' most destructive capabilities. Beginning in 2023, I provided sensitive information to Senate and House members regarding unidentified anomalous phenomena, technologies of unknown origin, and non-human intelligence. I also authored the document known as the Immaculate Constellation Report, the public version of which details evidence of long-standing United States government awareness of these subjects. The American people in Congress have not heard the whole truth because secrecy agreements and active threats prevent me from speaking freely. Mr. President, I respectfully ask that you release me from all relevant secrecy and non-disclosure obligations and protect my family from those who wish to harm me for telling the American people the truth. We are not alone.
So was that more of a plea going ahead and asking for the ability to talk freely to the presidents by removing all of his, non-disclosure obligations?
Well, I don't know, because it sounds to me like the president already put out an executive directive that would waive NDAs from former employees that could speak freely to both Arrow and Congress.
No, I know Arrow and Pursue. Congress is not in there.
I believe they were able to go to Congress. But either way, he has that avenue open to him now as it exists. So I think this plea wanted to be him removed from his NDA obligations once and for all.
Yeah. And he seems to have a heavy weight on his shoulders, because if you see how he starts up here, I hope he gets some assistance in dealing with this. Maybe Dr. Phil could help a bit. Just watch how he starts off. I mean, he looks under a lot of stress at this point.
It definitely seems that way. Yeah,
he's always seemed that way. In every interview he's done, he seems stressed.
And at the very end,
the truth. We are not alone.
He's almost shaking a little bit as he's talking. Poor guy. Andy, sorry, your hand is up.
That's all right. I've only just put it up. Yeah, it makes you wonder, is the price of getting these, going into these programs worth it? Is it genuinely worth what you might be involved with, what you might see? I think it's I think it's almost a cursed chalice.
Well,
but I will say very quickly, maybe, the thing I would like to see on having all of these people absolved of their NDAs, everybody who's involved with it, we get to see who are the ones telling the real truth and the ones who are bullshitting us.
Right.
So, but yeah, I generally, I think he's in a very mentally difficult position here. We can see that, that's a lot of weight to carry on your shoulders, and for people to carry it for the rest of their lives, there must be a hell of a price to pay.
It's got to be heavy, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a heavy thing now. I was going to say one thing about this, but, well, Andy, you had said it's, there's a heavy toll that goes on you for the people who join the program. I think the heavier toll is from the people who have been in the program, have decided to come out as a whistleblower, and maybe they didn't realize that the toll or something that, or whatever it would turn into for the overall, impact on their lives, their family, their jobs, or anything. I mean, it's one of those things you go and have a sit down with Lou and hear about his stories and what he went through, what he continues to go through. It's no easy road, because I haven't seen one whistleblower who's come out who's not had to deal with the trolls and the attacks and the vitriol that a lot of the people have out there just because someone's trying to bring something out. There's a lot of nasty things that have been said all the time. Right, Mike? Or Andy? Go ahead. Sorry, Andy.
Well, yeah, I'll speak as, Mike's just put his mic on, but yeah, these, I really don't think they realise the vitriol that is in this community. I don't even really want to call it a community.
Yeah, we need to find some new words for this.
Yeah, I don't want to call it a community really, because it's not. It's so disjointed. Even you see the amount of trolls we get come in on the show. You're trying to have an adult discussion over this situation. And these people who come out, they're hit from every single side, aren't they? They can't do right for doing wrong. So they're hit by the trolls, they're hit by your government, they're hit by, those in the shadows. I wouldn't want to be in that position. I think I've got a pretty hard enough life as it is. I wouldn't want to be dealing with any of that.
No, I don't think anyone would want to, but it's something that, well, it's been known for a while what happens. I mean, look at, like Green Street, all the different people out there and just the way they attack. And his is more tame compared to some of the other ones that are on the different platforms. And they'll flip back and forth. They'll bring you in, make you feel like you're part of the community, and then they flip the switch and turn everything against you. So it's never an easy thing. So I think if I go to James Fox here, and I go back to James Fox, we got the one with the Grusch. Okay, so here we've got the full statement from veteran Jeff Nicottelli talking about this and what he's asking for as well. And then we'll play the combo clip that goes together that James has so wonderfully put together for everyone in the community to be able to learn and get moved by. Here we go.
My name is Jeffrey Nicottelli. I'm a former United States Air Force Security Forces member and a career federal public servant. In 2025, I testified under oath before Congress about multiple unidentified aerial phenomenon I witnessed while serving at Vandenberg Air Force Base. I also spoke to Congress about retaliation and institutional obstructions that continue to discourage other knowledgeable personnel from coming forward. I personally know current and former government employees who possess critical information but remain silent because they fear losing their careers, security clearances, or facing serious legal consequences. Mr. President, I respectfully ask you establish and enforce meaningful protections against retribution for whistleblowers who wish to share what they know with the American people without fear. My name is Jeffrey Nicottelli.
So he wants to share it with the American people without fear. Is he wanting to talk about everything, or just, but he already is talking to the American people. He wants to be able to, share the details that would be considered, what do you call it? Top secret? National security, Daryl?
National security, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we missed a national security a little while ago, by the way.
Well, we could always catch up.
Oh, I've got one in the bank. One in the bank and one in the tank.
Well, there you go. Wait. There you Well, cheers, my friends.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Clinky, clinky.
Clinky, clinky.
What the
Other
fuck?
side.
What is
There
this
you go.
weird?
There we go. Clink inside your head. There we go. Clinky, clinky,
Clinky,
friends.
clinky.
Take your
Take
drink.
your Saturday drinky.
Yeah. Always hits the spot.
Fresca. So fresh.
It's if you're on certain medications, you can't even drink Fresco because it's like grapefruit juice kind of stuff.
Oh
yeah.
Not good.
Let's get back to this. So we got Jeff here. He talked about this. Yes, his is more about wanting to get clear to come Toki Schmoki.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, depends on what state you're in, my friends, or which country for that matter. So
Right.
Jeff is kind of going out there and wanting to spread everything to the public, but we know that you can't get there. And we're going to go back, and after we get through these pieces, we're going to do a turn back and watch Lou's. We're going to rewatch Lou's interview on Disclosure Tonight that we had earlier this week. We've never had a chance to go back and listen to it and actually give a proper analysis. I know a bunch of people out there have been, so let's see what else James Fox has here. All right, 1 minute video coming from Representative Eric Burleson. Here we go.
My name is Eric Burleson. I'm a Republican congressman from Missouri and a member of the Task Force on the Declassification of Federal Secrets. We continue to receive credible claims of recovered craft of non-human origin and reverse engineering programs that may have operated for decades outside of any government oversight. Those claims point to specific facilities, contractors, records, and people. We continue to depend on whistleblowers to provide this critical information, but these whistleblowers are being terrorized. Mr. President, I'm asking for you to directly restore what many of these brave whistleblowers have already lost: their pensions, their clearances, and other benefits. Provide immunity for anyone and everyone who has already come forward and for those who will come forward. And now we ask that you open the doors and let them speak, not only to Congress, but to the public. This is the moment. Use the authority that you have been given, because the American people are behind you on this, and the time is now.
Well, we're getting to a point that's closer. I think we may have to have a survey put together on this one. See if I can find another video come on this one. But is President Trump going to do something more than he's already done with his current waiving of NDAs? Is he going to give the protections? Is he going to go ahead and protect their retirement and such? Because don't forget, anyone who people in the military have been threatened time and time again. You go ahead and talk about the stuff that you've seen, we're going to pull your retirement from you, and that's horrible. Especially to our people who are not elected officials, but people who are in the military. That's their livelihood. That's their
What
future.
did he say? Pensions? It was pensions and what else? My short-term memory.
Yeah, and I've got a short-term migraine right now. So it's pensions. Oh, God. Where's my...
Andy, chime in here. I know you're listening. Restore... I mean, you can just back it up a little bit.
I was reading. Sorry, I can't read in this at
Okay,
the
no
same
problem.
time.
No problem.
One track mind.
Come forward. And now we ask that you open the doors and let them speak, not only to Congress, but to the public. This is the moment. Many of these brave whistleblowers have already lost this critical information.
Their pensions, their benefits.
These whistleblowers are being terrorized. Mr. President, I'm asking for you to directly have operated for decades outside of any government oversight. Those claims point to specific facilities, contractors, records, and people. We continue to depend on...
So what do you have written so far, Daryl?
This quote is going to restore pensions, their benefits. You were right on it. And then you rewound it. But you were right on it.
Whistleblowers
It was about
to provide this critical...
Right here, you mean? Or before?
Just play the fucking video,
These
Thomas.
whistleblowers are being terrorized. Mr. President, I'm asking for you to directly restore what many of these brave whistleblowers have already lost: their pensions, their clearances, and other benefits.
Clearances and other benefits.
Yeah, got it. Clearances and other benefits. All right. The poll is about to be launched.
Okay, Google.
And
set a
starting it now.
timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds, please.
All right. For when?
Got it. 1 minute, 30 seconds. That's starting
now. Oh, that's why I've got it up here. It closes down. I did it. I did it right when I selected it. All right, folks, let's go ahead and sound that sound effect. Yes, it's interesting during the show as the migraine's kicking in. I'm going to have to go ahead and get some muscle relaxer in a second. Where in the fuck is the pulsing logo? I can't even hear it. That's good enough.
Does massaging your temples do anything?
Oh, fuck no. Not even close. Not even close. Okay, as by that sound effect, folks, that means yes, we've got a survey going here at Disclosure tonight, and let's go ahead and see where you're going to take us. Oh my God, Daryl, look at this. We're at a 50-50 split with just 51 votes in with 280 people. Maybe we can get to 70 or 80. So, I'd extend out the survey just to see where it goes, but it's like it's pretty close.
279 watching. If you're watching on your TV, you can vote on your phone.
Wow, really? All you have to do is, do I even have to join the chat and or the channel in order to vote? No, I don't think so.
The answer to that question.
No, the answer is I don't know, Tom. No, you don't.
65 votes in.
And there's the timer. The 00 is there. But 67. Can we get to 70 votes? 69 votes. Hey, 69, dude.
69, dude.
All right, 72 votes are there. We're at 53-47.
I know we're cruising right up to 77 because there's the 77 that always vote.
Well, 77 is a very lucky number.
77. Yeah,
anything with
seven.
sevens in the Asian community, it's a very lucky number.
Oh, really?
777 or 777, yes.
Corporal A, was there anything about you that was a 7?
My number when I played baseball when I was in high school was 7. Yeah.
Lucky.
Yep.
76, the spirit of 76, and the kind of a little bit more, 54%.
Phillies won last night, 76.
All right, we'll end that poll.
77. That's funny.
There we go. Bingo. And the audience has spoken. 77% of 77 members of our audience have gone and voted, and they're saying that is POTUS going to restore pensions, their benefits and clearance, and their other benefits. 55% of the audience, a 10-point spread over the no's, who had it at 45%. So at first we were at 50-50, but as the audience got into it and actually voted, Daryl, it actually shows there's more than half, statistically speaking.
Yeah. Well, as I thought about which button to press, what comes to mind is it's like, yes, I hope that happens. But then you look at all of presidential history and, man, the things that you really want don't always come true. So,
yeah, they don't?
It's true. It's true.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
So I think this is probably more of a I hope this happens vote.
Yeah.
And the no are just people that are probably realistic.
But here's the thing. God, I haven't asked Lou if he's seen this yet. We should have asked him about that one. I'll have to get him back in a month and talk about this. No one has seen and really talked about seeing this presidential directive, have they?
No, only spoken is all we know about.
They've spoken around it. They've spoken about it, but none of them have actually seen it. Why? Because it's classified.
Right.
What, Daryl? Mike?
It hasn't been released publicly.
Because it's classified under?
National security.
Bingo. It's time for a drink,
You
folks.
said the magic word.
Clinky, clinkies.
Clinky, clinky.
Take your drinkies, folks.
All right.
God, did I set that up? No, of course not.
Here's the thing, though. I think we were talking about this the other night a little bit. It's going to have to be somewhat of a covert operation to get what you want, what we want. If you put it right out in the open, okay, we're going to XYZ and we're going to go protest. We want to have the alien videos that were being detained. they'll just burn the alien videos, or at least they'll tell you that, and they're nowhere to be found. So it's going to have to be covert. Somebody's going to either have to smuggle it out, or somebody's going to have to steal it from within.
Yeah, I think we may have to invoke executive privilege here, Daryl. And if we, if it's possible, go ahead and actually needs to get tied into the song YMCA.
Right.
Trump doing his dance that Melania hates supposedly, and having an alien in there as one of the people of the YMCA. Why not?
Right. Well, I think that's the only way that we're going to get what we want, because if you broadcast it, then the deep state, all the influences of the deep state that don't want this to come out, will put all their pressure on making sure those videos don't get found. But the video needs to get, if you're looking for incontrovertible evidence, and as somebody said the other night, witnessed or gone through, approved by scientists, that the video is real that you're seeing, broadcast to every phone in the world, yes, we've detained aliens. I know it's the Disclosure Day plot, but it's pretty brilliant, because that is pretty much all that's going to make somebody believe electronically, is if everybody sees the same thing. And there's no doubt, it's been proven, this is an alien. This is an alien sitting here in this chair, walking around. That's the only proof. As soon as that happens, my hair stands up on end, goosebumps. That's the day.
Yes.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, welcome, Sweaty.
Hey.
What's up,
Sweaty? You're about 3 national securities behind, bro.
Yo, bro. Good afternoon. How you doing? All right, all right. What's up, Daryl? What's up, Thomas? Mike.
What's up?
Mike.
Or Ryan.
All right. No GOP ones, I just checked, cannot make your eyes pop out like Marty Feldman. I was just double checking. But that comes from Gravis or something like that.
He is looking a little bit like Igor from was it
Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein.
Why do you think I brought up Frankenstein?
Frankenstein.
No.
Frankenstein.
Frabluka.
That's so funny. We definitely have a niche.
Oh, yeah, we do.
That's what it is.
Anything else here? We got that one. We got that one. All right. Okay. This is the same day before. Oh, there's all right. This is James. We got not James Brown.
James Brown.
Eric. Okay. So here we even got a statement from Eric Davis. So everyone, just to say, so you all know it. The reason Davis talks the way that he does, and you can see it now really good, is he had a stroke that partially paralyzed the left side of his body.
Okay.
So if people are going to make fun of him, come on, man, you're making fun of a stroke victim here who's still trying to be a part of it. And yeah, he's mostly there, but he's a fighter.
Who's making fun of him?
People always do.
So people retarded.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't really use that word.
Well, you can use that word.
People just crazy.
My name is Dr. Eric Davis. I'm an astrophysicist and a chief scientist in the U.S. defense intelligence industry. I investigated unidentified anomalous phenomenon, UAP, for 30 years. I've seen classified and proprietary defense intelligence industry evidence that the American public and the world have a right to see. That included photographs and documentation of retrieved craft and alien bodies, but I'm prevented from publicly sharing this evidence because of the threat to my security clearances, employment, and the potential for civil or criminal penalties. Mr. President, with your signature, you could waive the SF-312 NDA to protect UAP whistleblowers like myself. I respectfully request that you take swift and decisive action, as the nature of UAP should not be kept deeply classified. My name is Dr.
Now, one thing to remember about all of this is that there was a 2-page bill that was brought up in the House of Representatives by Representative Tim Burchett that addressed these issues for whistleblowers. But for some reason, Representative Eric Burleson did not include that in a modified version of the UAP Disclosure Act that's already been passed by the House. What's up with that? Mike?
Nothing
Daryl?
good, Thomas.
Yeah, I don't think anything. If that's the document that you're talking about, where it like started just going through every single possible avenue of disclosure, and it basically said, it seemed like it was handcuffing things to a large degree.
Are you talking about UAPDA or
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that thing where it's like, I don't know. What are you talking about, Thomas?
What you talking about, Willis? I'm talking about the couple-page bill that was put forward by Representative Tim Burchett to protect whistleblowers.
I don't know what Burleson put forward, but the guy that goes down to see the Nazca mummies, no, I'm going to go with Burchett, okay? And Burchett understands that the government is not telling you the truth on everything. So whatever he wrote is going to have that in mind. And, and it's good because that other piece of legislation, whatever that was, that went through all these...
The other piece of legislation that got passed, you mean?
Yeah, it went through all these different scenarios by which things would happen. And essentially when you do that, now all these lawyers get involved to make sure that all these different hoops are done the way that the bill says. So it actually slows down with disclosure.
Yes, it does. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
They all praise the UAPDA, but the process followed those written by Colonel Carl Nell. Yes, Carl, I'm calling you out on this one more time. The process that was put in there mimicked the declassification of the Kennedy files that were released. And what do we learn out of all the Kennedy files that were released? Fucking absolutely nothing. We didn't get to know what the government knows because the CIA is still fucking covering it up and won't release the data.
Mm-hmm.
And who's in control of the UAP stuff here? Oh, yeah. Isn't the fucking CIA?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The CIA, I always say this, the CIA and the Air Force are the two biggest conspirators in this whole UFO thing.
Yep.
Pretty much. Roswell in 47, Daryl.
Hey, that actually fits pretty well. How about that?
They created the Air Force and the CIA. Not a coincidence.
Yeah, amazing how they're both working to say, no, this shit isn't real.
Yeah.
But Thomas, you and I were talking the other day. Didn't they recently remove the Secretary of the Air Force?
Oh, yeah, they did. They fired his ass yesterday.
Right.
And why?
Impropriety.
Well, he took the vulnerabilities and things that were going on with Air Force One, and he leaked it to the fucking fake news.
Yeah. Well, and the commander in chief.
Coming out of that, the Secretary of the Air Force, the top guy in the Air Force, was fucking fired. Not only did they fire his ass, maybe they'll go more for a court martial. Would be wonderful. Put his ass in jail because he's a military general. I mean, he's the top of the military, but they also pulled his national security clearance.
He's not the head of the top of the military.
Where do people go when they go out of the Secretary of the Air Force? They go to a job in the defense industry, right?
Yeah, he'll go right.
He leverages his national security clearance for his new job.
Not anymore.
No.
Yeah, just a dumb thing to do. Because Trump is the head of the military. He is the commander in chief. So, you're fucked if you try to mess with Trump. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He should have saw that coming.
He should have. But
someone's
obviously,
saying even if he's a civilian, okay, so they can't go after him for they could still go after him for treason. You don't have to be.
He's a civilian general. How you can't be a civilian general?
He's not a general. He's a Secretary of the Air Force. So he is a civilian. He's in the cabinet. He's not in the military. Therefore, he's not subjected to the UCMJ, the Unified Code of Military Justice. So it doesn't apply to him.
But they can still pull his clearance.
Yeah, they could go after him for the Espionage Act if they wanted.
Yeah, well, they can pull his clearances like that, but then they can go after him for the Espionage Act, and they could try him for treason against the United States government.
Well, he's obviously not a Trump supporter and showed his true colors, and now it's going to bite him in the ass, which it did.
Yeah, you need to support the president. I mean, the Secret Service have I'm pretty sure everybody has the right idea on this in the military and the government, but the Secret Service protects you no matter what, presidential party you're in. And unfortunately, that guy didn't have the same. I mean, did not have the same whatever.
Well, listen, Daryl, there's been previous administrations of one political party that have hired people in the cabinet of both political parties. But the people from the opposite party that were working directly for the president had enough common sense not to try to stab that president in the back because they didn't want to lose their job.
Yeah, they don't understand they don't understand that they're supposed to be representing us.
Right.
So, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're supposed to put whatever views or political views you had to the side, because you're officer of the United States. So you have to, regardless if you agree with the president or not, you have to step forward and just do your job. You know what I mean?
But as that James O'Keefe expose found, that ain't the truth.
No, it ain't.
People are very partisan in these long-term government jobs.
But there's no place for partisan politics when you're working for the government.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, just like who said it? Was it Thomas or Daryl or Mike? When y'all just said that there's been past administrations where you had both parties working for the president.
Thomas is putting ice on that help at all?
No.
Anything like that?
No, it won't. It's coming from down here. And it causes an issue of central cord stimulation or whatever that goes on. And then from here going on up, it's going to go ahead and give me an occipital migraine, which goes around to here. But then I also get the fingers and the things that, coming into around the ear, into the side, into the face, and through the fucking eyeball.
Like you're being attacked by an octopus.
I've been dealing with this for 20 years, so it's nothing fucking new. I'm just looking at, I don't have any painkillers on this desk that I could go ahead and ibuprofen, UFO.
UFO, ibuprofen?
I'm just trying to think, what the fuck are these brown ones? I think I can take them. I don't remember, but I think they're an NSAID. I'll probably take one.
You're sure they're not your dog's medication for ticks, heartworms, and fleas?
No. It says, you can't see it's ibuprofen, but yeah.
Okay, good.
One's a buffered aspirin, I think, and the other one I'm taking is a Tylenol. So that's double up. It's still not going to help with the nerve shit, but I'd rather not do. I could do national security and muscle relaxer.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much relaxed on that part, but yeah. It shows my love for the audience in the show. I put you guys before my health. How about that?
Before a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's true. It's true. It's true.
Yes. And I still don't know what the fuck is on. I need to go check this here really. I need to go.
This show is really an anomaly. You really go all out and you're not selling any merchandise. I've said this before. You're not selling anything.
No memberships, like no price.
Totally different than anything that is out there in YouTube land.
Yeah.
But that's someday the niche will explode.
And I didn't get into this. Even, you know why Christopher Sharp got involved with this stuff? Because it became popular and he figured it was something that he would go ahead and cover. That's what a lot of people have all done. The only reason I've been in this is because I have a fucking connection to it, and I would have been hanging out with fucking Tim Dust over at UFO Man if he wasn't such a fucking dick.
That's interesting.
Oh, yeah, it's a whole thing. There's some people in the audience who may have been around back in those guys. The guy, I forget his name, with the Treesaw TV. He was over there. He's followed me over here forever. So it's great stuff. So Shermanator Osborne.
But also, Thomas, I'm going to jump in as well. You're also the only show that is doing, up to 5-6 days a week live broadcast, and you get your audience participation through all of us. Anyone of the audience can join us follow that link in the back chat. You can all have your say. You can come on. You don't have to be like me showing my ugly mug on camera, but every single one of our audience has an option to join us in the back here. You are all part of the family. We all have something to say.
Because it's disclosure is everyone. It's not mine. It's not yours.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. When I had a single co-host that was along with me, we just had Rob, and then we went to Tim, and then he booked, and then we had Tom King for a bit, and then his wife had a health thing. She booked. And it was just like, I turned to it and I said, who's part of this? It was the audience. And the first show that I opened it up, for viewer call-in. The first person who called in was... Hey, Thomas.
Mike, yeah.
Some guy by the name of Crypto Mike.
Yeah, I believe I was on that one. I was dying a death of a chest infection. I still came in,
because it's everybody's fucking disclosure, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I'm, I know very little about this subject. I know what I've experienced, but I'm not anywhere near a genius in this. I'm nowhere near a genius, and people can slate me, and I really don't care. If, with a face like this, do I look like I give a damn about people's opinions? But
you're one of the main reasons why we do the show on Saturday. You're like up there number one. Because there's an audience on the other side of the world who wants to be a part of this too.
Right.
We are a community. We are worldwide. We have people from Australia, New Zealand. We have people. I've seen somebody come in from Poland before. We've got South America.
Australia.
Yeah, all you people out there. We are a worldwide family on this show. We
what it's like? It's like not to cut you off. It's like how when you read stories about how people around the world has been abducted or had experiences. Yeah. That's what this show is about. You know what I mean? Everyone that's in the chat or in the back chat, the host, everyone has some type of experience. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, instead of having a guy here and a guy here, and we're just talking and we're bantering back and forth, we allow the audience who had this experience join. You know what I mean? And that's what Disclosure tonight is.
And I have to give it to some of the names we get in the chat, like the Greasy Weasel. Or we've got Lit Clicker.
Yeah.
Well, even our friend in the back here, Sweaty. It's
Sweaty. Sweaty. I like how you said that too. Sweaty.
Sweaty. Oh.
And as soon as I saw Sweaty, it reminded me of the guy. One guy said it to me at the bar one time: "Don't sweat the petty, pet the sweaty."
There you go.
And we have a fun time with it. That's the thing. I'm in pain and dealing with different shit and whatever it is. And I can put it past me. God, Talon, I was working already. Thank fucking God. But, we're serious about not being serious. Like, we're also serious about fucking national security, my friends. Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
And we're serious whenever Avi Loeb brings up black whores.
Cheers. Black whores.
Clinky, clinky.
Clinky, clinky.
Clinky.
Take your red drinky. Oh, everybody's got it going on.
So we've got another clip here now coming up from Dylan Borland. We're getting down to the combination clip that tells a different story, but let's get
anyway,
to it.
We really appreciate you, Thomas, is what we're trying to say.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Thomas.
And I appreciate everybody else, seriously.
100%, mate. Yeah.
This is like the core group right here, 291 people watching. That's probably everybody that always tunes in this time of the week,
Yeah.
It's like, it is like family.
Yeah, it is. Let's listen to the Dylan Borland. Now, apparently Dylan Borland was supposed to be the guy that would be the front runner with everything was to come out. He was going to be the one who was going to take the fall for everybody else. Why they convinced him to do that? You look at the other ones. Yeah. He's a bit shaken. He's a bit stirred, not shaken. How about that?
My name is Dylan Borland, a former geospatial intelligence analyst for the United States Air Force. I'm here today to ask President Trump to declassify all the records regarding UFOs and UAP that were currently brought forward by whistleblowers such as myself and everybody before and after me, both known and...
No, it's not going to happen.
Brought forward by whistleblowers such as myself and everybody before and after me, both known and unknown. I can tell you with certainty that I provide evidence of current operations to OVNI, Aero, the ICIG, as well as Congress and their staff. We are doing this in hopes that President Trump will actually come forward and begin to lead on this subject and provide truth and transparency to the American people as well as humanity as a whole. It is hopeful for myself and others that bringing these videos to the president that he will come forward and provide leadership to a new reality for not just America but all humanity. Thank you for your time and have a blessed day.
Well, I got to point this out really quick. Dylan Borland was one of the gems of Jeremy Corbell. So was Matthew Brown, right?
Oh, yeah, very close.
When we've been talking about this, and there's been posts about it, that Jeremy Corbell has been missing since the middle of June. Ever since he did his last drop and different things, and he threatened the government that I have all these videos and all this additional stuff that I'm going to go ahead and release if you don't bring out the stuff about crash retrievals and biologics. I have the beef, basically. He's gone radio silent since then. And look who's picked up.
George Knapp.
Up at this point. No, not George Knapp. Freaking James Fox has picked it up. He's the one who put together this video, not Jeremy Corbell, because these are all the people that Corbell was parading around and putting on his stage, especially like Dylan Borland. He says, well, when you were at the ODNI and you said this and everything else, and Dylan's on stage just like shitting fucking bricks, because he can't talk about it, but then you've got Jeremy Corbell who's on stage next to him disclosing secrets of the United States government, also known as national security, and just blurting him out, and he's just like freaked out.
Well, Matthew Brown has been close with Jeremy Corbell. Corbell was the one that brought him out publicly and got him into Congress, if you remember.
Yeah.
They were sneaking him in. So, but now it seems like George
Brown. I think they were sneaking in Matthew Brown. Yes.
Matthew Brown. Yes. I said Matt Brown is a close friend of Jeremy Corbell's. But it seems like since Corbell has dropped off the map, and that was after his pay-per-view event that he put out there for his released quick few-second videos, it wasn't well received by the public. He disappeared. And now it seems like George Knapp is very close with Robert Bigelow, and they're going to be doing a weekly podcast indefinitely at this point.
Well, they've always been close, but I think what's his name? Bigelow is he's just now coming around to doing something, and it goes with a rumor that happened that he was going to press the president for soft disclosure in the beginning of this year. That happened December of 2025. So it's happening.
Right. Right. And he's doing it with Knapp, but there's no sign of Corbell anywhere to be found, is the point.
No.
And Thomas and I have been pointing that out to the audience for a while now.
So I've got a poll ready to go when you're done with the whistleblower requests. Please.
And Andy has raised his hand. Go ahead, Andy.
I'm just going to say, Corbell brought out some really interesting people, but, to be honest, and I don't know whether Corbell will ever see this, and he can hate me for it. Bigelow is a way bigger hitter. I think we are so lucky to have him actually open.
It's not about George going to Bigelow. That's only one recording, one day a week that's going on, that's happening, and editing that George is not potentially involved in, unless George is doing the editing himself. No, the thing is that Jeremy Corbell has effectively gone radio silent at this point more than anything.
Yeah, I do believe Bigelow's got much more to offer us than Corbell did, I'm afraid.
Bigelow was reporting on what he's done and the knowledge he has. Jeremy is reporting on other people, not his own involvement.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll see. He might come out of the woodwork. We don't know.
Yes, that's true. It's true. All right. The next place I want to go ahead and take us is to a show called Disclosure Tonight. I think they had a broadcast with Lou Elizondo that took place earlier this week that I think would be good for us to go through. Mike, we haven't gone and listened to this yet. And 302 people watching. How about that? We haven't gone through this and looked back on the overall.
Whoa. Well, I got a poll.
In here with his...
Sure.
I've got a poll for that for your whole last segment. I've got a poll. Here we go.
Thank you. I know I am out of it to a degree. So where is it?
No. That's right. There's your poll. Who is the most credible whistleblower? David Borland, Matthew Brown, Dr. Eric Davis, or David Grusch?
I lost it. Chat. Here we go. Put it out.
It's up there.
That's a good poll. That's a really good poll.
Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. Where's Lou Elizondo?
Well, he's only a 4. I know, but we're just going from what you were just showing.
Oh, I gotcha. All right, audience, this is your chance to go ahead and vote. Well, I get a chance to go ahead and take a piss. How about that? I'll be honest about things once in a while. Where's the music? Okay, Google. Set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds, please.
All right, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Starting.
All right, coming out of this, who is the most important blower of the whistles?
Incredible.
Who blows them the best? Well, out of that, who would have thought we got 64% of our audience, it was 65% until I said it that way. David Grusch, followed by Dr. Eric Davis. Coming in third place, Dylan Borland in fourth. Matthew Brown. Sorry, Matthew, we love you and we get you, my friend, but you're not at the top of the list just today. And I think you want to be that way. You want to be more of a Morocco mole in the background, not the secret squirrel who's in front that everyone's going after.
That's true. You need to go to the vodka recycling center, I think. That's what you just said. You just said you needed to go take care of some business.
I'm going to. I know. Okay, Google. Let me just pause that. I'm going to pause the survey. I'll be right back. Keep on going, guys. Talk about it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a toss-up between David Grusch and Eric Davis. And I'll tell you why. Because, number one, Eric Davis was the one who put David Grusch on the path for him to interview those 40 witnesses based on the fact that Eric Davis has been doing this for over 30 years and worked directly for the government with national security. And as you heard him say himself just now on the show, he has seen photographs and video evidence of crash retrievals and bodies. Now, I think if I had to choose between David Grusch or Eric Davis, I would probably go with Eric Davis because he could bring... Right.
That's funny.
Yeah, because he has the goods to bring out to the public.
Yeah, I mean, as part of, he's been around longer,
he's actually seen things.
Yeah. I want to believe, it's another one of those things. I want to believe that Eric Davis would be the person to guide you to all the things you want to know about alien world that he knows of, at least. But Grusch is a strong candidate.
He's a strong contender because he did the actual investigation. He spoke with 40 witnesses, both hostile and friendly, on this subject within the government. So he knows what is being hidden from behind of the government. So, yeah, he knows a lot.
Squirrel! Where's the squirrel? Get the squirrel.
It's another.
Get the squirrel. Get it. Come on, Furry. Where's the squirrel?
It's another little dog.
Okay.
I was going to say that's quite often, that's a potential another poll. Is it a squirrel? Is it another dog? Or is it the neighbor?
You don't have to mute yourself, Daryl. We love the sound of dogs barking.
It's literally a guy walking his little dog around here. This little dog hates my dog. I don't know why. It's the small dogs that are like the most vicious.
Same thing is true for women. Yeah.
Oh boy, women, we're just kidding.
Yeah, we're joking. It's a joke.
We really would like more women.
Yes.
I would love to have locker room talk by women one night, other than the guys that are normally locker room talking. I just want to be a fly on that wall.
Okay.
It's brutal.
Megan Betts was almost there last night.
It's brutal. When they let their hair down, it's brutal what comes out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Far worse than anything we could ever say.
Oh,
yeah, my Sicilian ex was very short, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
All right. We started the survey 4 minutes ago, so we have to go ahead and edit, although the music stopped when I had to go take a piss. Who is the most important whistleblower? Where did our audience take us? Yes, David Grusch.
Most credible, ding, not important.
The most credible. The most credible. Oh, God, Brown is not going to...
Nope.
Oh, boy. Well, it's okay.
Is Brown the one? Well, he was the one who saw the triangle at the end of the runway.
No, Lucatelli.
Oh, right. Yeah, I get those two mixed up. What was Brown?
Immaculate Constellation Report.
Immaculate Constipation. Yes.
But what was the key of that? Or what was the focal point of that thing? Was that the
U.S. government? Well, number one, it wasn't run out of the DoD. It was run from the White House. Number one. Number two, it was a program that would scrub any sightings that the government censors would pick up and bury it into archives that were national security closed, so the rest of the government couldn't see it once it was picked up. Plus, there were some incidences that were covered up as well that were picked up.
That's what Matthew Brown alleges?
That's what he wrote in the report, yeah.
Okay. Oh, Immaculate Consolation.
Yeah, that was actually brought up by Schellenberger during the hearing and not Matthew
Brown. Corbell, who then called him a scumbag publicly in front of everybody and thought he was going to get dragged out of there, but he wasn't. They didn't drag him out.
No.
Amazingly enough.
Maybe they agreed with that.
Maybe.
You never know. All right.
Well, that was Nancy Mace's doing, right? I mean, she was. She didn't want Corbell testifying.
No.
She wanted Schellenberger.
Yeah, because he was more credible and an actual journalist, unlike Corbell.
I thought, Daryl, I hear the ice going as well from your side, which means we both need a refill.
I got a third of a tank.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a third of a tank here too, but that's when the ice starts making that noise, right?
Oh yeah.
We understand where they go.
This is a quick story, since you like to tell your stories about your days of programming. Back when we were starting what is today GameStop, one of the founders, Jim McCurry, would call me, and because I was like an assistant district manager of these 7 Dallas stores that right when we first started up, and he'd say, "So Daryl, tell me about how much money do we make at that store?" And you hear you hear that in the background, you know. He was like, he's just calling all the stores to find out how much money we made that day. It was like, oh yeah, let's hear it. Oh.
Was that on a Friday or daily?
No, that would be the end of the week. So what would that be? I don't know, probably Friday or Saturday.
Yeah. Considering he's in a position like that, probably a Friday.
Yeah, he is a cool guy, fun guy.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to meet him and you someday.
Yes.
All right.
It's crossed my mind. I want to taste your pizza oven delivery.
Yes, but pizza oven delivery, and it's big enough for one small child.
Well, whatever you're going to barbecue, I'm down for it.
Well, the smoker, yes, that can actually fit something larger.
Whatever it takes.
Exactly. All right. So now I need to get back to YouTube, and I brought it up in another window. I don't know what the fuck I did with it. I'm just going to say, yeah, that's fine. Come on, YouTube. Let me get to my channel. Let's go ahead and get to the interview with Lou Elizondo. And I don't want to see
with his bird's eye.
Who's the schmuck that's using that? Oh, yeah, wait, that's me. Let's get to it. We're going to get past this. And let's get right into Daryl laughing and...
Hey, can I tell you something real quick?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this. When you said the last time Lou was on, you were kind of recounting it to people. Do you understand Catholics versus convicts? Do you know what that's from?
Yeah, that's what you were talking about with regards to what the one college called the other people. One said we're the Catholic University versus the other one, you are from the convicts, which is like a state prison.
There was a real famous Notre Dame and Miami football game that happened here in South Bend, half mile that way at the stadium. Anyway, I was on the field after this game because Notre Dame won at 31-30, and then they went on to be national champions, and it was a big deal.
Yeah.
So, but that was all the students had hung out of their dorm rooms, Catholics versus convicts, because there is apparently some convict that they had playing for them on the football team. So
nice.
That was Miami.
Yeah, that's why I said that to Lou, and Lou said, "Yeah, I'm sorry we called you guys convicts." He was pretty funny. You'll find it.
Mike. Oh, there's Lou. How you doing, Lou?
Yeah, we got Lou.
How we doing, guys?
We're doing well.
Doing yourself?
Even better now that you're here.
You know, I always tell people at my age, I'm doing better than I deserve. Any day above ground is usually a good day.
Right.
Most definitely.
So forgive me, guys. I'm wearing my glasses again today. As a lot of you may know, certainly you, Mike and Daryl and Thomas, that I'm in the middle of a move across country. And I got to tell you, for anybody who's ever had to move across country, it can be challenging at times. But being a military guy, I've had to do it many times before. But I'll tell you, man, at my age, it's just not as easy as it used to be. So I got a bunch of stuff in my eyes earlier, and so I had to take out my contact lenses. So,
well, at least he didn't have a black eye and a bunch of stuff on his lip this time.
At least he doesn't have herpes.
Forgive me, but if
leave the glasses on, you look fine.
No, you look fine.
Look, this face is never going to get any better. So what you see is what you get. So, if I don't look so great with glasses, looking without glasses, isn't going to change anything.
Exactly. Well, it's great to see either way. God, you've been coming on the show for 5 years now. It feels like almost. And it's great.
Thank you. You've been having me for almost 5 years, and it's always been an honor and privilege. And I love engaging your incredible audience. I'm going to turn the volume up just a little bit because I'm wearing these headphones. I'm kind of in this weird echo chamber. I promise at some point here,
as I start panicking and looking around at my audio levels, what the fuck is going wrong? All of a sudden, I'm fine to leaning. Oh my God, what's going wrong? What's the
kind of in this weird echo chamber. I promise at some point here, when we finally settle down, I'll have like a real office again. But right now, everything, the lighting and the sound and everything's kind of off.
Am I coming across better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, I was too far from the mic.
Now I got you guys.
See, Mike, I was too far
5
from
by 5.
Excellent, perfect, my friend. So let's jump right into it. You've sold a ranch and made your way back to the DC area to go work on Disclosure full time. Congratulations, my friend.
Well, I don't know if congratulations or maybe a pity party, but nonetheless, here I am.
As my grandmother used to say, we're going to throw a pity party for you, and no one's going to come.
DC it's an incredibly vibrant town. If you've ever had a chance to come here, if anybody in your audience has ever been here, but it's also extremely stressful, right? Like any major metropolitan area, you've got lots of traffic, and with traffic, you got lots of parking issues and a lot of condensed space for people to interact. And complete opposite of Wyoming, where you're going to make friends with.
Yeah, there's no deer. You brought it up before I could, Daryl.
Deer and elk.
I was about to say that there's a lot less deer on the roads in DC.
No, that's true, but there's a lot more people. So I'm not sure if I'm more worried about the people or the deer.
Absolutely.
Well, the deer and the elk aren't going to try to carjack you. So
no, but some of them can have pretty big horns and they can impale you if you're not careful. So
that's true. You're right.
Exactly. So on to DC, on everything, we're going forward. We're in a historic time. Lou, we've got, what do you call it? President Trump going ahead and giving us finally presidential disclosure is something we've talked about here for the longest time.
Well, you saw today, right, with Avi Loeb coming out as part of the scientific council saying he absolutely supports whistleblower protections and the ability, because right now we can only talk to Arrow, which, as some of you may know, a lot of us already did, and that didn't go very far. And the new Pursue organization, which some of us may already be talking to, seems a little more proactive than the old version of Arrow.
So yes, this is from earlier this week. That's why there's two Thomases. That's why there's Daryl over there, because Daryl wasn't there. Well, Daryl was there behind the scenes, but you weren't on camera. I know it's a bit confusing, but I think people get it.
That said, I want to be fair here. I think the new version of Arrow is certainly more proactive and doing a much better job.
But don't they have the same leadership behind the director and stuff?
Well, they do and they don't. And we can get into that, certainly. Sure. But now, with Avi coming forward, Dr. Loeb, and saying, look, you should also be able to talk to the scientific board. I agree. I agree with that. But what that's going to require is them to have security clearances. And so some of those folks, depending on citizenship and whatnot, it could be a little more complicated to go from secret to top secret, or certainly SCI or even SAP. So we'll see. But I'm really encouraged that people are now having this conversation and people in the administration are engaged.
Right. Now you bring up the magic words, national security, my friend. Along those lines, everyone's saying Daryl, we didn't get a chance during that one. Clinky, clinky. Take your drinky,
Saturday
folks.
drinking.
They want to be able to talk freely to the public, and I'm hearing this and saying there's no way in hell that's going to happen. If they have all that stuff that they could possibly know and they just want to talk freely about everything and get excused, there's a lot of secrets.
No, that's obviously not going to happen. And look, the reality is, we can talk about North Korea having nuclear weapons all day long, but what you're not going to do is have a discussion on how
earlier in the day, President Trump came out and said, yeah, North Korea's got 59 really powerful nuclear weapons at this point.
Nuclear weapons are made, right? And all the little details of criticality and how you enrich certain products and what it takes to actually make a nuclear bomb. So I totally get it. Very nice message. Thank you. It's good to be here. We have to be cognizant of the fact that, look, you don't want a rogue nation being able to reverse engineer something that could potentially be used against us.
I realize at this point, I look down and I'm like, my God, I've got a straw. Get rid of that because I drink too much too fast.
To reverse engineer something that could potentially be used against us.
Right. And it's not even just releasing the information on how to do it. It's been described as you can't even give them an inspiration on potentially how to see something that they could take to create was something we might be working on, because they're really pushing hard on, they want to be able to talk about everything, but they're like zeroing in on the legacy program, the reverse engineering and, crash the people program.
Well, I mean, let's face it. That's the sexy part, right? That's what everybody wants to learn about, and I can understand that, and I can understand their eagerness. But truth be told, I'm very grateful just to where we are right now. You have NASA coming forward and actually, after decades and decades of denial, actually saying, yeah, you know what? There's stuff that we see on the moon. There's stuff that our astronauts are seeing, even though just last year we told the American public that wasn't the case. Turns out that is the case, right? And now we're going to start launching rockets to the moon every month. We're going to make a lunar base on the moon. I wonder why.
Hold on. We didn't talk about this.
No, that is the case, right? And now we're going to start launching rockets to the moon every month. We're going to make a lunar base on the moon. I wonder why.
Gee, that's a little bit of
yeah, how'd that skip by us?
Isn't it, Daryl?
Are we launching?
Yeah.
Is that actually known that we are? Is that something that's out there?
What?
I've not heard it. And but we're going to be launching rockets monthly to the moon.
That's what Elon Musk wants to do. Start and actually what they want to have coming from Jared. God, what's his last name? Not Yates.
Kushner.
No, the guy who's not Kushner. No, the guy's in charge of NASA. Is it Jared Yates?
Oh, no. Mr. Ears. Yeah, Mr. Ears.
Yeah.
Nobody's got bigger ears.
Yes.
Jared.
We're going to make a lunar base on the moon. I wonder why. And it turns out that there's some very interesting things, on the moon and possibly even on Mars that we might discover if we, put some energy into getting there. So I'm very encouraged by it.
I can tell my brain is accessing information. It's how I keep on blinking my eyes, looking in different directions. Where the fuck was I going to talk about on this?
I think this administration, again, politics aside, people always, when I'm on CNN, they accuse me of being a liberal. When I'm on Fox News, they accuse me of being a conservative. And then,
no, it's the opposite. When you're on CNN, they accuse you of being a conservative, and when you're on Fox News, they accuse you of being a liberal. Close enough. We get it.
2027, by the way.
What?
NASA and partners have discussed increasing the pace of robotic landers and rovers toward a near monthly cadence starting around 2027.
Yes.
There you go.
That's near 2027? Jesus Christ. That's
around 27. Yeah.
5 months away.
As part of building towards sustained lunar presence, a moon base, with crewed landings targeted later, Artemis 4 in early 2028 under current plans.
I could see SpaceX. Okay, we're going to get there. We're going to go ahead and land. Boom, it falls over. Okay, we're going to try it again. Let's do it. And it falls over the opposite way. Eventually they get it where they come down, they stick it every single time in the national security hole, Daryl. You guys just saw you lift up. Cheers, my friend. Clinky,
Cheers.
clinky.
Clinky.
Hey, you're drinky.
There's a lot of private stuff that try to land on the moon. They all topple over, but I have to believe...
And the ones that topple over are all the ones that are really tall versus the ones like the landers that are like a pyramid shape, which are much wider at the bottom, narrow at the top, which I still can't see how the fucking Starship would ever land on the moon. Just saying.
Are you saying we're flying pyramids to the moon? What?
Well, apparently in the gravity, that's what works.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to it.
Let's go.
I'm about down to 22%. How about you?
I'm 25%.
Everything.
Sorry, 24.
Between, the truth is people don't know what my political affiliation is, and they never will because it's my own personal business. But the reality is this president has done a lot in keeping his promise regarding UAP transparency. And by the way, this Congress is doing bipartisan, by the way. There's a lot of folks out there in Congress that are doing a tremendous job on behalf of the American people. It doesn't matter whether you like their politics or not. You can't deny the fact that they're championing this cause. People like Eric Burleson and Representative Tim Burchett and Representative Luna and Moskowitz and others who are really, and then you have the Senate, right? They tend to be a little more quiet and reserved about it, but there are folks on the Senate side that are equally committed. And so, this is how our government's supposed to work, and the executive branch. And so I'm very encouraged by that.
Yeah, definitely. I would have to say so completely. Now, you mentioned about Mars, I know, and NASA itself. Jared, I believe he's the new head. He's the head of NASA at this point. He came out like 2-3 weeks ago and said, yeah, we've got a bunch of things that we've recorded, that we have pictures of, that we've never released to the public, and we're going to start releasing those documents.
And let's not forget what else they said, right? We have now perhaps the most compelling evidence to date that there may be some sort of life form, or was some sort of life form, even if it's...
So now let's talk about those pictures from Mars.
Microbial, potentially discovered on Mars.
God. Have you been seeing the pictures that have been coming out lately? They've been coming through JPL, and you've got one that's a typical saucer shape on that, 45-degree angle. They've got another one that looks like the jellyfish and different stuff, and they're just finding them more and more just popping up in the data feed to show there's something more going on Mars than just, dust devils. And well beyond microbial life. I guess was where I should have pushed it, but...
Jared Isaacman.
So it is Jared.
Jared Isaacman, yeah.
Big ears.
Oh, my God.
You know what? Trump. I blame his parents for not putting that kid through that surgery at a young age to go ahead and bring the ears back. He deserves
Maybe he was a really awesome wrestler. I have no... all I know is that Trump called him out, and that was pretty freaking funny.
Is he married?
What? No, I mean, he called him out in some meeting. He goes, let's ask this guy over here. He's got the best ears. He can hear anything with those ears. He literally said that.
No keeping no secrets from Jared. Yeah. Syrup, your hand is up.
That's it.
Syrup from California. The man who is our local dog whisperer.
No. So you were mentioning those pictures on Mars. I was always curious, were those authentic?
Yes, they are 100%.
What the? Oh, okay. I always thought it was AI,
Let's
man.
Let's get to X here really quick.
Let's
go to bookmarks.
Crazy pictures,
Let's get to search my history. Mars. There's one from the Daily Mail. Let's just go back. Not that one. God damn it. I don't want to leave. We've got one here that showed it came from JPL. There's another one where you've got this object. And then you've got another one where you've got... This is actually coming from JPL. It's not working with me. Apparently, it's breaking out. Fucking A, goddammit. Mars. Go back to it again. We've got this one. We've got this one. There should be one. There's a jellyfish. What the fuck is even that?
Yeah, really? What is that?
What the fuck is even that? Seriously.
That's crazy.
Or, as they would say, it's not what the fuck.
What the hell is even that?
Yeah. And you know how they try to explain this? Oh, that's cosmic radiation, or what do you call it? Cosmic waves, or whatever it is.
They said
Cosmic ray or
Cosmic rays, yeah, coming in and putting stuff on the what do you call it? Photoresistor from the camera.
It's a probe droid, Thomas. It's a probe droid from Star Wars.
Yes.
It got a bit lost.
It's true. It is. You know, but there's tons of here's that saucer. What the fuck is that?
Hey, what the fuck is that? It's real though.
I know. These are all coming from JPL and another object.
Yeah.
This is all real. God damn it. Every time I go to try to get to one of these pictures from JPL, it fucking kills. It's like it's crashing it. What the fuck is that?
It's real. Chinese balloon.
Yeah, another one. And look, it's a saucer with an orb. But what the fuck is even that? Yeah. I know I got the fucking
what
birds
they
here.
call it, dead pixels, don't they?
Oh, look, it's an orb.
One of the things. Yeah, dead pixels in the sky. That's a really good tune by Nigel Stanford.
So yeah, there's
Words
stuff.
of the wise.
Would you look at that? That's coming down. What it kind of looks like with some enhancements going. But look, oh no, that's just natural. No, it's not natural.
These pictures were so good that I thought for sure they were AI. Like I didn't pay
they're
them
not
no
AI.
attention.
They're coming from literally Jet Propulsion Laboratory out of Pasadena, California. Off of Lake Street. Yeah.
How many right angles do we see in nature? It's not a well-known thing, is it? But nature doesn't do very many right angles. So, yeah. Obviously, it's all natural.
100%. That's why I brought up Mars. And that was my thought behind Mars. Although I should have brought up the pictures because he had said it perfectly. He could see it because he could see the chat during the show. So here we go. Wait, who's that schmuck? Oh, that's never mind. Those Scooby. Ryan, go ahead.
And they're not dead pixels because when somebody went to the pictures before it, and the pictures after it, and there's no dead pixels in those, so it wouldn't just happen in one frame. Right? Am I right, Thomas?
Yes, it's true. It's true. It's absolutely true. 100%. Let's
so
continue.
The people that say that they're dead pixels,
they're
are
not.
wrong.
They're not dead pixels, and it's not cosmic rays coming down and causing the problem to happen. Let's continue with good old Lou.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does.
Oh, it does.
Back to the national security bit that you said we could talk a little bit about later. I mean, that's like the root of everything that we get into with disclosure and what could hold some of this stuff back from coming. And like you said, I'm tickled pink that we're getting what we're getting. And yeah, people are saying we're not getting enough, but look how much we've gotten compared to 80 years before this. You can take everything all the presidents
80
had
years, just 10 years ago. Look where we were. We were in complete denial. The Pentagon pretended like we didn't even have a UFO program, right? That I didn't even exist. I mean, here we are. I mean, this is a great day. This is a great moment for our nation, for our society, for humanity. You know, here we are, folks. And again, you know, I warned people years ago, you know, disclosure will happen. And it's happening, but don't be surprised if it doesn't happen necessarily exactly the way you anticipate it.
Right.
That it should be, you know, because there's a lot of considerations out there. And I get a lot of flack for it all the time. You know, well, Lou, you know, who are you to say? I'm nobody. I'm just Lou Elizondo. It just so happens that I happen to work a UFO program for our government, and I came out and told the truth about it. Does that make me any type of, you know, special or super guy? No. In fact, frankly, in hindsight, it might have made me stupid for doing it. But the reality is here we are. We're
What did he just say about himself for going ahead and bringing out the truth? Yeah.
It might have made me stupid for doing it.
He even calls himself, I may have been stupid for doing this, considering all the bullshit and stuff he's been fighting over for years. Hey, Mike?
Yeah, he's been fighting for this for 10 years now going on. You're absolutely right. And we've come a long way, even though people don't want to admit it. I mean, like he said, Susan Goff denied that he worked in the Pentagon. He wasn't assigned any place, let alone ATIP. ATIP wasn't real. Mainstream media wasn't talking about this. And then we got, all of a sudden, UAP congressional hearings. We have mainstream media covering it. We have congressmen and senators trying to pass legislation on UAP. And now we have the president himself acknowledging the UAP reality and declassifying certain material and information that the government has kept secret for over 80 years. So, yeah, we've come a hell of a long way. And most people are not aware of, or if they are, they ignore that this all started with Loeb back in 2017.
Yep.
Nobody else. 100%. Like it or not. 100%. Just Loeb. Yeah. And, you know, we wouldn't be having this conversation to the public if it wasn't for the work that Lou did and brought this conversation out the way that it's developed over the past 10 years.
Disclosure has gone fucking bonkers since Lou came around. Let's be honest. The UAP GERB, any of the trolls on X, any of the stuff that's out there, none of it would be going on right now if it wasn't for Lou Elizondo. We just have to be honest of it.
It's true. And, you know, you and I have been fighting for that. And as, you know, Lou acknowledged last time he was on the show, this has been going on, that he brought it out for the past 10 years, but we've been in the fight with him for the past 5. So these trolls and UAP GERB and all these other schmucks out there, you know, they were invited to
and
stay
the
over
tabloid journalists like Ross Coulthart. I hate to say it, but it's kind of where he's turned, and he's actually dragging News Nation down unless this is what they really want.
Right, unfortunately, and it's tabloid journalism. But there are people that are trying to jump on this bandwagon now that it's out publicly, and you know, profit from it, which is what News Nation is trying to do. They wouldn't have gone full tabloid if they weren't looking for clicks and attention from the public on
And
stories.
unfortunately, what it's doing is it's diluting their brand.
It's muddying the waters is what it's doing for Disclosure as well.
Muddying the waters, diluting the brand, same thing. It's yeah, they're getting short-term gains out of it. However, what it's doing to the reputation of them, it's taking them down to a tabloid piece, unless that's where their CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, is literally trying to take the brand. And I don't think that's the case. Maybe they just need to become aware of it.
Well, also they're either willingly or not, they're participating in the government disinformation program to, you know, get this subject not taken seriously. So
you need to go outside and we'll let you out.
I hope that's not the case, but they should pay more attention to what they're actually putting out there.
It's true. They should.
I know.
All right, let's get back to this.
Yes, please, Daryl.
What is it, Andy?
Huh?
Okay, go ahead.
I just said, yes, please, Daryl. He's going to let me out.
Is he going to take you for a walk, Andy?
He can take me for a walk anytime he likes.
Oh my God! Is he going to hold your hand too?
Serious about not being serious,
Is he
everybody.
going to hold your hand, or is he going to put you on a leash?
No,
actually, that's for the back chat. That's for later people.
No, actually, Ferrari has Andy's voice. So basically, when Ferrari is talking,
it's Andy.
Like Andy.
Sounds like Andy. Yeah.
Yep.
My bad. I thought I had the mic muted.
Yeah. So every time I see Ferrari, I think about Andy. Every time I see Andy, I think about Ferrari.
There we go. Thanks for hanging out with us. This Saturday is for you. I don't have to do this. I have yard work that I could bring in a gardener to take care of and manage. But no, I want to go ahead and have this show with everybody else. And if there's anybody out there watching this show that has done maintenance work on decor ranges before and understand that if you go ahead and move some of the cables around, that the actual, igniters won't work, please reach out to me. I'm looking for a seasoned decor veteran who can help me understand what the fuck I need to do to restore the functionality to the 2 center burners on my 36-inch range.
So reach out to Thomas at disclosuretonight.com.
Thomas at disclosuretonight.com. Please do. Or if you know someone who does this stuff. They got bought out by Samsung, but there's something magic. And the way they have the cables routed, that's not in any manual anywhere, that only a seasoned repairman, a seasoned journeyman. Although we've got Joseph in the back who works in elevators, and he could help me understand what I would need to do. He doesn't work on ranges, do you, Joseph?
Okay.
No. Let's continue. Here we go.
But the reality is here we are. We're now having a national level conversation. The media is taking this topic very seriously for the first time, and the government is finally admitting the truth about this topic. So I think people should be happy about that. And yes, we need to continue to push and put pressure for more disclosure, more truth, more transparency. But we should also stop for a second and just thank those who have done so much in the past for this topic. You know, people like Chris Mellon, people like Dr. Hal Prudoff and Eric Davis, and the list goes on, and David Grusch and Jay Stratton and Robert Bigelow and George Knapp and George, Jeremy Corbell. The list goes on and on and on of people that have been fighting this fight quietly, in some cases for decades. And, they're alive to see the fruits of their labor. And we're all alive to now have a global conversation about this. We're all part of this conversation. Look, here we are having a podcast where your audience is equally invested in part of this conversation as you and I are. I mean, this is what incredible times we're living in, and I just feel very blessed to be part of it.
Yeah, ditto here as well. I did get a super chat coming in from random YouTube user. I believe that's Michael Suckloff from the back chat, who's usually around a lot of times. He's saying, for national security, and can Lou give an answer to, if security is number one issue, why not just show us, quote, the goods via what they've seen on the moon or in space?
Well, they are. They're beginning to show you that right now. It's taken a few years, but they are. I mean, if you know where to look, there's some pretty compelling photos out there. I mean, there's some very interesting things from the surface of the moon. These objects that have right angle cuts in them, and there's some really compelling stuff.
I think you call them monolithic, right?
I did. Nature doesn't like to work in right angles, and yet, there's some very compelling photos that are starting to make their way out. And we're also working very hard behind the scenes to try to encourage the administration to release some of the videos that I know exist, and people like Chris Mellon and Dave Grusch, because we were there in the Pentagon and saw these videos and pictures. And that's what we're pushing really, really hard to get released. Now, you're never going to make everybody happy, right? There's always going to be somebody out there and say, well, unless one of these lands on the White House lawn, I don't believe it. Well, I'm pretty convinced that even if it did land on the White House lawn, there's people that still won't believe it. So, you can't make everybody happy.
No, but at least we can get forward traction. Jesus. At least we've got a momentum that's going forward. Jesus Christ, I missed that one. The videos Lou has been talking about and has talked about includes the B-52 that has 4K or 8K footage that shows a UFO that comes up by the side of the craft, and you can see the occupancy of the craft, or the video that has the UFO that's the size of a football field, that's a triangular shape that raises out of the ocean next to an aircraft carrier and instantaneously accelerates and it's gone. Those are the videos he's fucking talking about, and I missed it. My God. Let's continue. Daryl, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Beat me up, Scotty. Just so everybody can understand, you caught it, but I wonder if you could play it back. What is it? Maybe 20 seconds?
Yeah, when I was taking a piss and I couldn't stop and come here. Yes.
Oh, okay. You couldn't stop. It burns.
No, it didn't burn. It didn't burn.
No, to stop. I mean, it hurts.
Yeah. It's just, it's the flow slow.
To encourage the administration.
But Daryl,
my drink just spit in my eye.
Because you didn't get your refill yet, did you?
No, I didn't. But that's
I just
okay.
got my refill, so.
No, lucky you.
To release some of the videos that I know.
Man, I got to tip that bartender.
Exist and people like Chris Mellon and Dave Grusch, because we were there in the Pentagon and saw these videos and pictures, and that's what we're.
Actually, today's super chat. Today's national security is brought to us by the super chats from everybody from this episode. Thank you, folks. We appreciate it so much.
Yeah, appreciate that.
All right, hold on. There you go, Daryl. Clinky, clinky.
Take your Saturday drink.
Take your drinky. There we go.
We're pushing really, really hard to get released. Now, you're never going to make everybody happy, right? There's always going to be somebody out there and say, well, unless one of these lands on the White House lawn, I don't believe it. Well, I'm pretty convinced that even if it did land on the White House lawn, there's people that still won't believe it. So,
It's true. They wouldn't.
You can't make everybody happy.
No, but at least we can get forward traction. At least we've got a momentum that's going forward.
Yeah.
We've got a regular kind of a pace that they're trying to release it, which is, I guess we could call it the golden age of disclosure. Well, he gets a smile there. I'm doing the smile because with Trump, everything is the golden age, isn't it, Daryl? Including the golden age of the toilet.
And the office, the Oval Office.
I guess we could call it the golden age of disclosure. Watch the smile on his face.
Well, certainly, we've come farther than we have in the history of our nation so far very quickly, but I think there's a lot more to come. But we have to be ready for it too. We got to stop fighting as a community and stop, this weird.
You heard that too, Daryl, didn't you? I saw you raise your eyebrows.
Well, what I heard is the ice in the bottom of the box.
I think there's a lot more to come. But we have to be ready for it too. We got to stop fighting as a community and stop, this weird desire to create and manufacture drama when there's already enough drama in life. You don't have to manufacture it. That's really the problem. And I've talked to people in Congress who've said to me, Lou, it's a very toxic environment. And that's one of the reasons why they don't like to publicly wade into those waters. And I don't blame them. I mean, it's brutal. It's terrible. It is a cesspool every time. I mean, I get texts on a daily basis where people say, I just got this note that someone so-and-so said that you did that, or you were part of this, like crazy outlandish stuff. I'm like, guys,
we've all been there.
I've got a real job, believe it or not. I don't spend my time, maniacally rubbing my hands together trying to figure out, who I want to.
So much when he said that, I wanted to do
I know. That's why I said what I'm about to say.
What?
You play it.
I want to, socially smear.
That was one of my questions. Damn it.
Yeah, right. Who am I going to socially smear? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't even like social media. I love people in the community, some of them anyways, but there's some others that I think, probably need to find a hobby.
Yeah, or a girlfriend.
Yeah. Or a boyfriend.
Or boyfriend, something. Yeah, a significant other. How about that?
Yeah.
I got one upstairs myself.
That's right.
Another one coming in, Lou. Thank you for your time. Have we ever... Okay. What I tried to do was other podcasts went through stuff. They get to the end of the show. They start bringing up the questions to Lou that came in at the end of the show. As we were doing through it, we had a very limited amount of people. And sorry, Jay, I should have brought you up front. I should have brought you in. My fault on this one. Maybe anonymous, but you never know. I won't remain anonymous on that one. But as we were getting the questions coming in over Super Chats for Lou, I thought it was right to bring them up in a regular basis as it hit versus just pushing it all off to the end. And I think the viewers got it, and it actually brought a great interaction. And, well, we'll see when Daryl gets there talking about Jeeps and Suburbans. Ever had any private or public military-style offensive operations against an NHI species, not just shoot-downs?
Yeah, we have to define the word offensive, because for some people, the term offensive is, literally trying to shoot them down kinetically with maybe an AMRAAM missile or something like that, where others might say, well, it's being provocative and trying to lure them in. I was very honest
If people haven't realized, when I'm looking down and to the left, I'm looking at the screen right in front of me where Lou is. Granted, I should have something there behind me. It's just kind of how the monitor layouts work.
My discussions when people asked about Project Interloper, This was a project that Jay Stratton and another individual who I'm not going to mention and a few others back at the Pentagon and the CIA put together a plan, an actual operational plan through the Joint Staff, a very classified program at the time, to lure out UAP because we knew what they were interested in. Are those efforts still ongoing? I wouldn't be able to discuss that. If the programs are still going on, he can't discuss it, which you can take that one way or the other. Efforts were ongoing due to classification. Daryl, I have to say, your left eyebrow is raising up like you're Spock. Like there's something you want to say, but you're not telling us.
I think I noticed that after doing the show. I don't know if I had a stroke or what's going on, but yeah. All right. Actually, some old ex-girlfriends say, I know that look.
They know what that means. But they didn't tell you what it means. I'm looking at the side saying, what's up with that? But, we're always trying to learn more about the enemy. Back in the 60s, I'll share something with you. Right. As long as it's not like Nancy Pelosi, we're fine.
Right.
And this is certainly not classified anymore. It's all over books and everything. But you might be surprised to know, back in the early days of radar and surface-to-air missiles, and the Russians would do this too. We'd have this cat and mouse where we would go hauling butt, full afterburners towards the Russian border to spook them a little bit. And knowing that as we got a little close, they turn on all their radar, right? And then we could identify where their radar systems were, right? And then we'd go back home. So we weren't really going to do anything. And the Russians would do that to us, right? And so this was in the early days of radar when it was pretty easy to track. You would light up the entire sky with a radar signature. And you would do it to learn more about the enemy's capabilities and their locations. This was common practice back in the 50s and the 60s. That type of practice is something that continues with most major nations today. And it's not just a U.S. thing. It's a global thing that nations do. Yeah, it seems to be. Now, talking about nations and representative, it's not the Big Low podcast. Let me get rid of that. Hold on. Oh, where is that provided by? That goes away. Okay, Eric Burleson posted today over on X. Our own agencies went back through every past sighting, asked what drew these things in, then we recreated those conditions on purpose at a site. Watch the expression on Lou's face as he talks about this. Actually, I have to hide Sweaty here. Sorry, Sweaty. I'm going to get by myself here so you can see it, and I have to hide the chat. Let me just take this. Or is that provided by? That goes away. Okay, Eric Burleson posted today over on X. Our own agencies went back through every past sighting, asked what drew these things in, then we recreated those conditions on purpose at a site, Dugway Proving Grounds, with prior activity. ODNI, CIA, FBI, and military intelligence were all on site. Something showed up. Surprise! Yeah. There's a formula to it. Yes, of course there is. I mean, duh. This is what we've been saying. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and so I'm glad. So Daryl, that's where we've got Lou just going ahead admitting and saying, "Surprise! Yeah, that's what we've been doing. Go figure it out." Yeah. I also, yeah. I think it was a genuine response. Yeah, but honestly, Lou here. Lou on stage, Lou on a phone call, Lou on a video conference, it's the same guy. No matter where you talk to him, he doesn't put up a fake front. He doesn't put on that, well, I'm going to be on CNN, so I got to talk differently. No. Yeah. He's an honest guy. Really. It was hard not to take my eyes off his eyes. I mean, I was constantly reminded not to take my eyes off his eyes during this interview because in my mind, I'm watching the guy whose eyes have seen things that I want to see. Right.
So what are those eyes going to tell me? My first grade teacher.
It's also a method you use in meditation and other stuff to connect to what they have actually seen by looking into their eyes, through their eyes. So we should talk after the show.
Well, my first grade teacher, Sister Leah, she told me I can tell if you're lying to me by looking into your eyes.
Yeah.
And she always told us to look into her eyes. So I learned that in first grade. And actually, it commutes a sense of people are actually listening to me, when you're talking to somebody.
It comes down to it, and also whether people are honest in what they're trying to bring forward.
Mm-hmm.
And
right. That's what she was trying to say.
Honesty, really, folks. You want to attack Lou, different people do. He's not in this to frickin' become fucking Elon Musk, the biggest millionaire out there. He's just trying to survive with what's going on. He's been through this for so many fucking years, but he's still trying to bring out the truth, which I have to give it to him. Yeah. But turning our way over to One American News.
Wow,
what the heck are they talking about over there, folks? If you
They're
haven't
getting
been
really good with
watching
these
One
robots.
American News, yes, we've got some amazing news reporters over there right now.
Yeah, they're really getting good with these robots. These, these that they're
this is real.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah, it's real.
I mean, here's the original shot before I fucking cropped it down.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You sure she checked the box? I'm not a robot.
I'm not a man. I did not see those forms. I'm sorry.
Tonight, the death penalty fight's intensive, Tyler.
But the sunken cheeks, and clearly that's not from drinking from a straw. I can tell you that.
Sure, that's that pole.
We're not talking about Avi Loeb. God damn it, sweaty.
That's that pole.
I mean, but it could even be that her eyes aren't even blue.
The gray?
And her lips aren't that big. No, they're not.
She's a gray.
Or could she be reptilian?
I was going to say that too.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I had to bring that up. So
This is where it'd be great if we had more women in the back. They'd also comment on that, but okay.
Yeah.
Wait, we do have one representative of the situation.
Shelley,
are you there?
Shelley, tell us what you think about those lips.
I am summoning you. Come on, Shelley.
I think Shelley ducked out.
Shelley, did she leave?
She left earlier.
Oh my God, we lost Shelley Montgomery, our only bastion of help.
She's in the chat.
Come on, Shelley, come on back. All right, we'll go back to this as we can. Let's get back to the interview with Lou. Sorry, folks. It's just a little aside. Having fun. It's Saturday, It's like we've worked hard so far, but tomorrow you're gonna wake up and you're gonna go ahead and feel like, oh my God, I gotta go to work tomorrow. Tucson TV, I love you. You have been here forever. Shelley, you're there. Thank God.
I love you guys.
We love you too.
Yeah, I hopped off and was in the chat. Here I am.
What was the question we need to bring to Shelley, Daryl?
What did she think about the autonomous robot's face?
Actually, I missed that. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. There she is.
She's not a autonomous robot. She's actually a news reporter from.
We'll tell you the news now.
Yes, I'm a female, whatever.
She's from OAN.
I should have been, I don't know. I climb trees. Well, I don't anymore.
It's not about
But if you climb trees, my God, we got Treesaw TV in the chat, and he'd be a perfect person for you to talk with.
I don't understand this shit of shooting your, I don't know, poopy lips and.
You know, all I can say is she really that, if you want to call it, impressed by Nancy Pelosi to get the eyebrows so perfect?
Oh, Nancy. Nancy during COVID, remember that one?
Come on, Shelley, say something.
Can you guys hear me?
We can see you on. Everybody can see you. Yes.
I know. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We're answering your questions. Can we hear you?
You cannot hear me. I'm always going to run my friggin' mouth, and I'm not going to stop.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm sorry. We can see you, but we can't hear you, Shelley.
All right, let's get back to the interview with Lou Elizondo. We've got freaking Shelly here. Finally, we drew her out. It's like, it's like for going for a Northern Pike. It could be easy, but you never know.
Miss Cussout says she looks like a mannequin from Twilight Zone.
I know it's
plastic. She looks plastic.
But I know, but came from my husband Luke, who said, "Is that a woman?" Just being honest.
I've seen the movie The Birdcage. I see Luke's point. Yes.
Yeah.
They mean
that looks like something you get from one of my customers.
What's your point, though?
Nothing.
Why?
We're having fun. Happy Saturday, Shelly.
So there's no point to her anyway.
No, Shelly, we're having a happy Saturday. We do this 6 days
Shelly,
a week.
please
Come on.
Don't spread
Sometimes we have
disinformation.
to have generic title cards we can have for the audience to come out and Daryl say, "Cheers to national security."
All right, now I have to go get some more. But yes,
I've got a full here. You haven't refilled yet, so you're behind the times.
I might pour myself an old
Daryl, if I
fashioned.
did that, I would cause a tidal wave right now. Thomas, what?
Thomas.
I didn't say anything wrong.
We love you,
no,
Thomas.
Shelley, when things were going on earlier this week, and we had Dr. Anita, and some people were saying things, I was saying, shame on you. Don't say that. It's not nice. Sometimes we have to be that way, but otherwise we can just have fun.
I thought she's kind of interesting, actually.
She was the gem.
Oh, no, she's very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
All right, let's get back to Lou. We're in this 2 hours. We're only like 20 minutes into a 1 hour interview.
Yeah, 2 hours from now.
I know, but it's Saturday, isn't it? Yeah.
Wait, yes, it's still a Saturday.
Representative Burleson, said that. There was a time I had to be very careful. I could never say that at some point in the past, but I think, things are changing pretty quickly. And I think there's a desire by the administration to have this conversation and bring more people into the fold, right? Bring in academics and theologians and other individuals that you wouldn't typically associate with national security.
That's what you kind of outlined in your five pillars of disclosure several years ago.
That's right. That's right. Look, it wasn't a secret, right? And I made it very clear our road to success, and at least certainly the way that we were going to pursue it. And I'm not saying that's the way everybody else should. You're free to do what you want and however you want, but this was the way that we decided we were going to pursue it because we thought we had the best chances of success, and it's worked before for other type of scenarios.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, do you have something up your sleeve?
Yeah. I was curious, have you heard or have you been aware that Robert Bigelow has his own podcast that he's doing with George Knapp? And they've had 3 episodes already.
Well, look, George is...
Okay, really quick, I just have to say when Mike is calling in, it sounds like that old radio call-in TV show. I mean, a radio show on AM radio. Daryl, Daryl, you there? Sweaty.
He's getting cocktails.
I am doing just that.
I know. But when Mike calls in, even though it's not from a call in, it sounds like it's coming from his phone and just has that perfect freaking twang to it. Just saying.
Well, have you been aware that Robert Bigelow has his own podcast that he's doing with George Knapp? And they've had 3 episodes already.
Well, look, George is an amazing human being. George has been literally at the tip of the spear on this topic for a very long time. And there's a lot to George that people don't know. And at some point, it's not my information to share or provide, but I think people would be really surprised to learn just how much George has really done for this topic over the years. And the same with Robert Bigelow. Yeah. Robert Bigelow invested his own money, his own time, his own effort, his own resources, and his own credibility and reputation to pursue this topic.
And until earlier this week, I didn't realize how close he was to this and the abilities aside that this guy can kind of evoke. It's amazing where he's taken it to, and with the money that he's had and how he's tried to build this thing. Freaking genius in this area.
Were we always successful?
Was that Daryl?
National Security Reloaded.
Well, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Clinky, clinky.
Take your drinking.
There you go, folks. God, we need to have drink glasses that we can go ahead and use and also share. But we're going to have to take reviews and figure out what is the best one before we can even get there and actually, recommend something.
And we know Shelley will participate if there's a foam party, so we got that going.
I don't do foam, but that's okay. But wait, E.T. foam home.
Foam home.
Daryl, blew my mind. Wow.
That's what I live to do.
Keep the picture up there. Keep the fantasy rolling. Hey, Shelley, you need to take that picture you got there and start pumping it into AI, and it can create some interesting variations.
Thomas, you told me we would talk about that last night, and you.
Well, I'm just giving you some ideas right now. I've seen Alice do it, and I think it could help you tremendously as well.
Yeah. Boy, it's really helping me. Let me tell you. Yeah. Wow. I'm old fashioned. Okay.
Let's continue. Here we go.
Successful? No, of course not. But no one ever is at first, and so I'm very happy that they're having these conversations.
Yeah, they're very good conversations. We've been covering each of his episodes so far that have come out. Very well done, and very interesting information in there. The last episode, he was talking about the ball and jacks at the ranch, and it was a form of communication that they picked up on.
The trickster approach.
Yeah. I mean, certainly, if there's somebody qualified to talk about the ranch, would be Robert Bigelow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Daryl, your hand is actually up for once.
What is the ball and jacks?
Okay, so there was a bunch of jacks, like heavy floor jacks, as Mike described it. Mike, you there? 3, 2,
ball and jacks.
Like floor jacks. Like pumping hydraulic floor jacks, as I understood.
So what are we talking about? What, the ball and jack
situation with Bigelow.
What is that?
With the ball and jack test that Bigelow ran at the ranch.
There you go.
Had to do with like kids' ball and jacks, but they had oversized jacks, not like toys. And they had a ball that they made a circle of the jack. The individual jacks were also color-coded, different colors. And they made a circle, and they put the ball in the center of it. When the people at the ranch, the security people, went outside, first time they went out for 30 seconds, they came back, nothing moved. They went out a little longer, smoked a cigarette. When they came back in, the jacks were all put in the right color, matching each color jack. They were put into the shape of a U, and the ball was removed from the center of the diagram that they made. So that was definitely a form of communication that Bigelow was talking about that occurred at the ranch at the time OSAP was there doing this kind of work.
So they put all these different objects in a specific pattern, and
circle jack,
and the consciousness that was there rearranged everything and put her in a different configuration.
A circle jack.
Yeah.
Yes, not a circle jerk, not to be confused with that. A circle jack, right. But he also said that they were usually playful with their intent.
I bet they were, with the ball in the center and everything.
With a ball and the circle jerk, yeah, it could be very playful. I know, I get it. And again, was serious about not being serious. But yeah, Bigelow talked about...
But seriously, folks.
Seriously, yes. It was communication that was occurring at the ranch at the time that he documented. So very interesting. That's why the podcast that he's been putting out with George Knapp every week, we cover, because there's a lot to talk about and a lot of information that he's been doing for the past several decades that hasn't come out publicly until now.
Do you remember the old picture that somebody showed it of the like 1600s, there are things in the air? Do you remember that, Thomas?
You're talking about the stuff from Europe?
Yes.
Like
and
1547,
to
the stuff
me,
that happened, and they saw the stuff in the sky, and there were
the stuff in the sky were ball and jacks,
bars and circles and everything else, and there was a battle in the sky. Yeah,
they were balls and jacks. That's what they were. So I was wondering what.
No, they were jacks.
Yeah. If you look at that picture, it looks like jacks.
Okay.
Not like pump up your tire jack, but the jacks when you play jacks. You ever played jack? Yeah. They have that same cross, dimpled, whatever thing. Jacks. Anyway, I thought you guys were talking about that. I thought there was a link, but there is no link other than linguistically.
Yeah. Sorry, I just heard like an explosion outside that sounded like a really fucking loud explosion.
Tree, maybe? A branch popping off?
No, bigger. Different from something else. So, yeah, I'll look it up and probably something happened.
Not a gunshot, I hope.
Yeah, sound more like a shotgun or rifle.
And your electricity didn't flicker, so it's not a transformer.
No, didn't happen. Joe's still going. So let's continue on. Here we go.
And he's talking about it. So, yeah.
Excellent. Good.
What do you think about Dr. Phil getting his toes into this subject lately?
Well, I think it's unavoidable. I think he realizes the writing is on the wall. He's spoken to enough people and realizes that it's not BS. And at some point, other people are going to have to get on the train here sooner rather than later. Otherwise, they're going to be left in the cold. They're going to be left at the station by themselves and, sit there scratching their head.
Yeah, I think it delivers a really great message. He's connecting with an audience that's outside of core ufology. He's talking to your average mom and pop, your usual average day citizen who watches this kind of stuff. And it's really opened up the overall view of what's going on with Disclosure. And he's covered the past, and he's up to the point now of saying, now what's up with this latest release? Why aren't we getting the better data?
Yeah, well, it's a lay perspective, which is understandable, but he is communicating that information to a very sophisticated audience, which is kind of his talent. He knows how to take information that's very complex and distill it down to a consumable level that most people can relate to.
Yeah, because he does a lot of research on this topic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, he's a smart guy, for sure. Who's done really good, too, which I really appreciated, and this is not a plug necessarily, but great gal, is Jillian Michaels. She has her own little podcast.
Yeah, she freaks out. She has the biggest facial expressions, and she looks like she's totally bewildered and different things. We've seen that before, haven't we, Daryl?
It's distractingly, bewilderingly. Yes,
exactly.
She's been starting to cover this topic very clearly. But who actually really started covering this topic early on in the early days was Sarah Carter. Sarah Carter was a news correspondent and then later went with Fox News. She's girl's been all over the world and in through combat. She's incredible. And she's just been selected recently to be the new U.S. drug czar here in Washington, D.C. And, she championed this cause early on when it was not in vogue, when nobody wanted to touch this. This is before even 60 Minutes or anybody else got involved. And she was like, no, this is an important topic. This is a topic that we need to discuss. She was one of the very first few. And so we have to certainly give credit where credit is due. She's fearless.
Absolutely. Got another, we'll see where this one goes. One coming from.
As Lou got into that, who is Sarah Carter? Isn't the name of the person from frickin' Terminator?
Yeah. I don't think that
she is the director of the Office of National Drug Control Policy, commonly referred to as the drug czar.
Yeah,
Sarah Connor, not Carter.
Yeah, sounds familiar. Sarah Connor.
It sounds familiar, though. It really does. Having assumed office on January 9th, 2026, she was nominated by President Trump and confirmed by the Senate in a closed vote. So, okay, it's Sarah Carter, but not Sarah Connor, but it sounds like she's on a good cause for the United States, at least.
Beth K here says, Lou, our bodies with minerals and water mimic Earth's conductivity. Thoughts on the Claude Puneman and UAP might be parts of one massive system.
Well, we are. We're all part of one massive system. I mean, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. We are carbon-based units. It's a signature of life in our cosmos. Now, when I say signature of life, signature of a life, not necessarily all life, but we are carbon-based units, and that is something that is very, very unique to certain life forms. And we live on a planet that is really just a huge hodgepodge or melting pot, if you will, of chemicals and molecules and minerals. And when you put them together in a certain combination, you get us, right? And then what happens when we die? Well, we go right back to that primordial soup, so to speak. Now, that doesn't necessarily, that's the physical self, right? So yes, we are all connected to this planet. One only has to look around and realize we are literally physically connected to this planet through gravity, right? It takes a lot of energy to escape it. But there's another aspect of the human being that we don't often really talk about as it regards this topic, which is human spirituality, which might not necessarily be carbon-based. It might be something far more profound, and perhaps that, it's not Earth that's makes us unique, but it's actually the fact that there's another component to human existence that could be maybe more in common with other things out there, and maybe that is, the part of us that is not necessarily physically grounded to this planet.
Yeah. It brings
as an example, David Grusch recently came out, did an interview, and he was talking openly about the fact that these craft were not only recovered, but there were biologics that were recovered with it. And then he was asked if any of the biologics were alive or dead. And his answer was some of them were alive. And then he was asked, did they communicate? And he said, yes, they did. So we've been in communication, believe telepathically, with a great type alien.
But the key
Have you
word
heard anything about that?
Mike, is they were detained.
Well, there we go. Detained. Yeah.
So I'm sorry. What was there a question there? I apologize. I didn't understand if there was a question.
The question I had was, have you heard about that account? And if so, or if not, what's your opinion about it? Is something like that possible?
Well, yeah. I testified we before the American people in Congress under oath that we had recovered biological samples. I didn't specify how big or how small. I didn't specify whether they were animated or not. That's still a very sensitive topic. And also, truth be told, I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm not qualified to make really any type of conclusive opinion about medically speaking, about biologics. And also the fact that a lot of this occurred before my time. So, it's my direct, do I have knowledge of? Yes. But do I have direct experience in? Not necessarily.
Have you seen pictures or photos of such material?
I have seen some very compelling photographs of some very interesting things that would fall into that category of biologics.
Interesting.
Well, on News Nation, Dr. Eric Davis came out yesterday, and he was requesting that the president, just like David Grusch and others have, would release him from his NDAs so that he could speak publicly about what it is that he knows. And he also mentioned that he's aware that there are gray type aliens that we have recovered, and the one that David Grusch was talking about that was telepathically communicating was also gray type. The reason I even mentioned it is because I think it ties into the point you just made about there could be parts of humanity that go beyond being carbon-based or attached just to this earth. If there is consciousness and something beyond ourselves, and these NHI operate on that level, then that would tie into what you're saying.
Well, I don't think there's any avoiding the fact that we are spiritual beings. People always will tell me, we're human beings having a spiritual experience. No, I think it's the opposite. I think we're spiritual beings having a human experience. It's the reason why the vast majority of this planet has some sort of religious affiliation, because there is some sort of ethereal thread that ties us to something much bigger. And I think it's hard. It's like the term love, right? We all know what it feels like. We all can express it, but we have a really hard time trying to describe it. And we all might have a slightly different description of it, and yet it's universal for the most part. I do think, I've experienced my own very interesting aspects of reality back in the early days of my experience with remote viewing and the government's efforts with remote viewing. That's certainly not a physical thing. You're not actually going to a location to collect information, but you can collect information and intelligence on things that aren't even there anymore. Right. So we get into a really interesting conversation about what does it mean to be a human being? What does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to be part of this great experiment that we call humanity? And I think most people would agree that there is something more to life than the physical. So let me give you an example here. Let me just kind of cut to the chase. I speak in very simple terms because I'm not a smart guy. The reality is, maybe it's my culture, Latino. My father used to use a lot of examples when he was talking to me that made complicated ideas a little easier to swallow. But let me give you an example here. If you think of a shape, right, the human body as a physical shape, think of a square, just a square that's got boundaries and limitations, right? 4 sides, and got a head and feet and arms and legs. So you're kind of this block, this physical block sitting on the planet. And then you have this other part of the human being called the brain. Right, it's our intellect. Now, what defines Lou Elizondo, if I get into, let's say, another motorcycle accident, God forbid, I hope that doesn't happen, and I lose a leg or I lose an arm, I'm still Lou. I'm still who I am, right? So the physical self doesn't describe me as a person. It's the vessel in which I reside. And then you have my brain, right? So the brain is not my dog.
No, it's my dog. Sorry.
Might have a little bit deeper voice. Then you have the human brain, and that is where we have the cognitive processes where we think about things, right? The term I think, therefore I am. So our ability to process information, to guide the body, to move the body, to drive the daily functions of the body like respiration and heart rate, right? The ability to drive a car and navigate street corners. That's all part of the brain. But that doesn't necessarily describe Lou Elizondo either, because if I have a traumatic brain injury, like I did on the motorcycle several months ago, I'm still Lou Elizondo. I might have some cognitive decline intellectually, but I'm still Lou. So if it's not my body that defines what I am or who I am, and it's not my brain, then what is it? Is there something more there? It's the same thing that drives a mother to run into oncoming traffic to face certain death to save her child, right? It's instinctual. It goes against actual personal survival, and yet it overrides everything. There's something else there that defines who we are. So if the human being, the body is a block, you can think of the triangle inside of a square as our brain, right? It's another shape. Then you have this other thing. Maybe it's a circle, or maybe whatever shape you want to give it, that kind of overlaps both the body and the brain, but some of it's outside. Some of it doesn't lie confined and necessarily, like the brain is certainly confined to the body, right? The brain sits inside the body, is physically confined to our body. And yet there's something very, very intimate about a human being that's not intellectual, and it's not physical. Look, I just said I have 5 German Shepherds, and I talk to them like human beings, and we communicate. I mean, we're not discussing astrophysics, but when they're hungry, they let me know.
Bingo.
And by the way, it's not just a simple bark, because each bark means something different, right? And they can just look at me and I know, oh, you're not feeling well, or, oh, you want to go play, or, oh, you want a belly rub, right? They're communicating with me very effectively, just like I'm communicating with them. Oh, it's time to eat, guys. Let's go. Hey, let's go for a walk. Let's go play ball. Let's go jump in the pool. Whatever it may be. when I'm communicating to them, they understand, make no mistake, they understand exactly what I'm saying, and yet there's no real verbal communication. It's just we kind of look at each other and we understand, oh, I got you, I understand. I'm communicating with a definitively non-human living thing. Now think how profound that is. We take it for granted every day because we have pets, we have cats, we have dogs, we have parrots and fish and everything else. But make no mistake, there is a connection there. It's why we cry. It's why we're sad when a loved one or an animal that we have cherished for so long passes away. It's why animals mourn when their owners pass away. It's why the dogs will sometimes, or cats will lay by their owner's grave, in some cases for years, right? That's spiritual, man. That's not physical. It's not intellectual. It's something far more profound.
Right. But those channels of consciousness that you describe, that humans have, animals have, with those who are living, even some people who are talented with those that have passed, are the same channels that are communicated to us with from this non-human intelligence. So
that's my point. This might not be just an earthly thing. This might be, the if you will, the internet of the cosmos, perhaps.
Absolutely. Now, I do have another super chat question here coming from, let's get it, Laura Campbell. Lou, she's our remote viewing targeter. She's been around for a long time. Lou, did you have any say in choosing members of the Pursuit program? Is the executive wing tasked with it?
I mean, I certainly had an ability to make recommendations, but those decisions were not mine. And just like the decisions made by Congress, the decisions made by the executive branch, they're not mine to make. I think people need to understand there are very clear lines and lanes in the road. And if you are speaking on behalf of the government, then you have been given that permission to do so, meaning someone has kind of said, okay, you now are going to go ahead and have the authority to speak on behalf of the U.S. government. Contractors don't have that ability. Only government officials do. And even some government officials don't have that ability, right? It's only very senior, certain individuals have that ability to speak on behalf of the U.S. government. There was a time in my career that I certainly had that authority and I exercised it. But that's not my place now. I'm not in the foxhole. I'm in the back advising, if that makes sense. And it's just that it's advice that comes from years of experience, but there's also a level of respect there. And I recognize that decisions are not mine to be made. All I can do is make recommendations. And as long as they come from a good place in my heart, then I'm satisfied with that.
Absolutely. Now, on last night's show, we had a survey. Who should be talking on our behalf to the NHI? Could be a politician, military, scientist, or religious person. Above and by far, everyone's saying 71% was saying first place scientist, second place at way far behind was at 20% religious. Military and politician are tied at 4%, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I agree with that. And I think we should have some other categories in there too. Maybe have some philanthropists, maybe have some psychologists in there, maybe have, I'd love to see this more representative of a greater pool of individuals.
Yeah. I think we were limited in the survey when we were doing it, so we could only take it to 4, but I get your point.
Gotcha.
Expand out the survey, see what people think.
Yeah.
Awesome. Another one coming in here. Let me get back to where we were just at. Interview guys large. Okay, here we go. Coming from Jay from the Galactic Family Podcast. Amazing Thomas. Question for Lou. What should podcasters, journalists, and researchers demand as evidence before accepting their extraordinary claims and having them on their show?
Well, look, first of all, it's a very thoughtful question. But I don't think people should demand anything, because if you demand, you're going to get the door shut in your face. Anybody who demands anything from me, I'm going to go tell you to pound sand. But I understand what you're saying, as it is incumbent upon a journalist or a purveyor of truth, as they're seeking the truth, to always be very critical and require evidence. Right. And so I think you're getting that evidence. Everybody, keep in mind, everybody has an opinion, right? And this is why I typically try to avoid giving my opinion on things because, they're just an opinion. I think what we need to do is ask people, how did you gain your perspective? Why do you think the way you think, and why do you make the conclusions that you're making? And if they're logical and they're based in facts and reasons, then okay, that's good. If they are, well, I just think, or I just believe, or because it makes me feel this way, that might be valid personally from a personal perspective, but it's a lot harder to, apply that universally to everybody because we all have different perspectives. We all have different ideas. We all have different beliefs. And we have to be careful. Part of the issue we have here with the UFO community is that there have been people historically that have made a hell of a cottage industry for themselves on this topic and have exploited people, straight up lied to them and exploited them, right?
What happened? Did I say there? What happened?
And have exploited people, straight up lied to them and exploited them, right? I'm not saying everybody's names, but that's done a lot of damage. And then even now you have people that say sensational things without any proof or evidence. And then when they're confronted on it, they still don't provide any proof or evidence. And I think that's problematic. If you're going to say something, then you got to show the receipts like I did. When people said, oh, you weren't part of ATIP, oh, really? Here's a memo that shows that I was, oh, by the way, from the Pentagon, or oh, by the way, from Senator Reid. You got to show the receipts. You got to have them. If not, then you got to be prepared for the onslaught that's going to follow.
And hence, when you've talked about in the past about wanting to burn ufology to the ground, this is the kind of thing that you're referencing.
Yes. I love the sense of community. I love the topic of UAPs and UFOs. What I don't like is the constant backbiting and the manufacturing of drama. Because people that just come to this topic for the first time, they don't know the difference between your podcast or somebody else.
Bingo.
And you got some kid out there that's just making false allegations nonsensically, right? And then when they're proven wrong, do they ever come back and apologize? No.
Mike, does it sound familiar? Exactly.
It does, Thomas. You're right. Lou was on the money. That
he always is.
There's a lot of bullshit out there, and you have to be able to separate the wheat from the chaff.
100%.
So, yeah, that's why he enjoys coming on with us and talking with us, and because it's not the same bullshit that's out there. And like Andy pointed out earlier, we don't charge a subscription rate. We're not digging into people's pockets. We're not selling merchandise. We're not doing any of it.
Memberships to the channel because you know why? We give everything to the channel for everybody, and anyone who wants to come and be a part of the closer community, we give them the fucking link at the start of every show, Mike. Nobody else does that.
Oh, I know.
It's like pay for play access, and it's like, fuck pay for play. I'm here to go ahead and be a part of everybody.
Well, not only that, you know what else Lou liked that he pointed out, but I don't know if anyone else picked up on it? He liked the fact that all of the comments that were coming in the front chat, he saw every one of them. Yeah. The questions to him, talking about the cause.
Mike, that was, I have to bring this up. That was based on the messages. I had an auto chat turned off. I was only bringing up the ones that I saw was necessary for the show.
But he was also reading in the front chat because he saw on YouTube as well. He saw what we saw. So. Yeah, he was. He was reading in real time. Okay. So he liked the community. He liked the fact that we have audience participation that are in real time. It's not pre-recorded like mostly everybody else is.
Yeah.
It's not something he's sitting in a room or on his computer and that's it. He actually can see the audience and their interaction. We provide that. Lou enjoys that, and not many other people or news channels he goes on has that.
And he's very comfortable hanging out with us. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, it doesn't hurt that you and I have been close personal friends with him and Jennifer for many years now. And
like the emails from 2021.
Yep. So this counts for a lot.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get that on other platforms or other news shows because
Mike,
it's just not there. Yeah.
You know what happens?
What?
If anything happens with the new book that comes out?
Yeah.
I've got a statement from 2021 that will blow it out of the water.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, I know. We're waiting for the DOPSA clearance. Yeah.
No, we don't need DOPSA. I'm just waiting in the wings. Go ahead, say the things. Do whatever you're going to do. But the truth of the matter is, I have other statements about Queen J. Stratton. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
They just move on to the next accusation.
And come up with more shit.
That's right. More crap, right? Let's see what more crap I can feed and what people will believe, and for clicks and likes, for attention, and, so I can feel good about myself. That's the problem here, because, I think pride and ego are the enemy. I think humbleness, humility, is really what it's going to take for us to really comprehend this topic. And the more hubris that is injected into the UFO community, the more we're going to delay that realization.
Yeah, absolutely. One last one. We'll get to Daryl's question next. Winger Dude says, not Swinger Dude, but Winger Dude, do you believe that the orbs are going to come up like Bledsoe said when Israel launches the nukes?
Well, I mean, orbs are here already. I don't know what Bledsoe said, what Chris said.
Yeah.
I've been a little bit preoccupied with my move across the country, but orbs is something that I've discussed in the past. They're real. They're here. They are very much part of the UAP topic. They are connected to it, and don't be surprised if we continue to see them.
There's actually a trail, as I would call it, they follow right in front of my house. I've seen them like 4 or 5 times already. Always a bright orange, that darkish orange color kind of a thing. Move about 200 feet in the air at the most, because the trees here are about 100, 150 feet tall. Just silently move, and they go on a regular basis. And it's some kind of life form. There's something going on, and there's something to it. We just don't know what it is just yet.
I mean, indigenous people have been reporting this for millennia, thousands of years. I mean, this is nothing new. People are just now coming to the realization, because they had this idea that, what they thought society was about in reality, and everything has to confine and comport to what I think, reality should be. And then when they're confronted with a different reality, a lot of people.
No, it's like thousands of miles that he drove. Absolutely.
People will reject that reality, and sometimes even violently.
Absolutely. Daryl.
Saw TV.
Well, Lou, I warned you the last time I had some bar murders for you. So,
all right, man.
Here we go.
All right.
I believe I have heard 98% of all your interviews, and I don't believe anyone has asked you this question. So I understand if you cannot answer this question on the grounds of national security, existing NDAs, and the like. So if that's the case, no explanation is necessary. Okay. You have used the personal pronouns she and her to describe your work truck. Does she have a name? And if so, what is it? Don't laugh, Lou. Watching this interview are Betsy, Bessie, Betty, Baby, Babe, Daisy, Ruby, Pearl, Molly, and Winnie. And I can tell you that they are all on the edge of their bench seats.
Bessie. Old Bessie.
Bessie, there we go.
Yep. It's old Bessie.
Awesome.
And I had another one, Doug. He was my snowplow truck. And then my wife has this beautiful parking lot princess that has never seen a day off road. It's this big Ram diesel Cummins engine with the mega cab, and it's all jacked up, and it's obscene. You can't even drive it in DC because it takes up 2 different zip codes. It's just enormous. And she drives that, and I've got this beat up old hunting truck that I drive that I love. So
did you lose the water pump on it when you broke down on the side of the road, or what killed it last time?
Oh man.
Okay, I brought this up because when Lou said he broke down on the side of the road, and that was the day he was supposed to come on the show, and what was going on, all I could see was the water pump dying. And it was.
Did you lose the water pump on it when you broke down on the side of the road, or what killed it last time?
Oh man, you know what? So I had another trailer issue again. In this particular case, I had a water pump issue and a trailer issue, and then I also had a water reservoir issue, and then I had a wiper issue. But fortunately, I was able to. She does have very good taste, by the way. Just saw your message. My wife does have very good taste in vehicles. Not such good taste in husbands, but really good taste in vehicles. But yeah, I had all sorts of problems. You know, she's got 210,000 miles on my old hunting truck. It looks like some sort of thing out of Freddy Krueger nightmare. But she keeps on going, man. And I love her. And, you know, the air conditioning doesn't work and the power steering, sometimes works, you know, but the 4-wheel drive on that thing, man, it's got that big, you know, 360 block in it. It's the old Magnum engine. It's a 98. It's a beast. It's the old 5.9 Magnum engine, which was, you know, very anemic.
Magnum engine meaning it's a Dodge
to begin with, but I did some work on it and I put some extra horsepower into it, and you know it's my get out of Dodge, no pun intended, get out of Dodge truck when I have to. But yeah, I'm a incurable gearhead. All my Jeeps have names. They all have personalities and character, and I talk to them when I'm working on them, and even sometimes I might lose my temper occasionally, and I talk to them when I'm working on them, and even sometimes I might lose my temper occasionally, and maybe I might throw out a bad word here and there when I get frustrated. But they, fortunately, they have a good sense of humor, and they take care of me.
You know, that's in the spirit of our group here. The people that say there's a wasted question, you know,
whoever has a 2004 Chevy that has over 1 million miles, bravo. Because I got to tell you, did you see that come up? Look at that.
Yeah. Would you look at that? It says my 2004 Chevy has 1 million miles, original transmission and motor. Doesn't say how many times it was rebuilt, but it's the original.
And the original transmission. That is unheard of. I have an old Chevy Suburban, the 2001.
46,
and she's
25.
got about 350,000 miles on her, and she's tired. But, you know, I call up my school bus for the dogs because I have 5 German Shepherds. It's got the rear air conditioning. So it's got the cathedral doors that open up in the back. So they just all pile in the back. I ripped out all the seats except for the 2 front seats. And my wife, poor wife, she gets embarrassed as hell by that thing. It's like, it looks like Sanford and Son. It's awful.
Fucking, you know, I'm laughing there. I'm laughing now. Oh my God, Daryl. Mike, your thoughts?
I love Sanford and Son.
He's an old gearhead. So he's telling the truth about that.
I know.
It doesn't matter how old it is, as long as it serves him well. He's very loyal.
And it took Daryl in Disclosure tonight to get that conversation out of Lou. It's wonderful.
And I told Daryl I thought they were great questions and up Lou's alley. Yeah.
It's a conversation that brings out the humanity in the person that so many people out there want to go ahead and fuck and attack. And it's just wrong.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
But we've, defended against that and tried to set people out on the truth and avoid the bullshit. And Lou appreciates that. And I told you he was reading the front chat, because he had YouTube up at the same time. So he saw what we were seeing from the audience, and he liked it.
Mike, I was putting up selected messages. He was watching the shit in the Google Meet. He may have been watching the stuff in YouTube, but I know I wasn't putting any of the negative shit up. I was only taking selective things and putting it up like this right. He's a Dodge guy, of course. That was me.
Of course.
I was just trying to go ahead and keep them focused on the positive things coming from our audience, not all the bullshit in the chat that's going every freaking, 2 seconds where everyone's putting messages up.
Well, either way, it worked out well because he liked the response.
And he responded to it. And who's the host?
You are.
There you go. You want to go ahead and take the messages that mean the most to the person who's coming and hanging out in your living room for the afternoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know
or
exactly
hanging on the porch or whatever it is. Hanging on the backyard around the barbecue and the smoker and everything else. You want to give them the stuff that's relevant to why they're there. Forget the bullshit and the noise that's everywhere. You know what? Because they're not worth it
to present to my friend Lou.
No, you're right. I agree. So that
and that's
worked out.
what I did. That's why I worked with this stuff and put it out there. And it's just a matter of, what do you call it? Carving the content, the conversation along a particular area, because you don't want people to see things. And I don't want people to feel bad. There's people who are out there. They said some really nasty shit that our mods picked up and shut down. But you know what? I don't want them to see it. It's not right.
No, it's not. But like we've also talked about, and Lou is aware of this, there are trolls out there that go after him for no real reason. And he's seen that as well. And he,
you know what? If we're going to have a call, I'm going to do what I can with our mods, our community and everything, to give him an enjoyable time and tell us what we want to hear. I mean, not what we want to hear, but just to give us the conversation that we deserve.
Right. And that's exactly how it worked out. So, job successful.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's continue on a bit more. You enjoying it so far?
Yeah, so far so good.
God, yeah. You know what? And our friends across the pond deserve it. Why not? Saturday, why not?
Yeah, I love it. It's great. And the dogs all get in there. They, stick their heads out the windows, and we go.
Talking about the fucking Suburban with all the benchies taken out in the back, and it's just him and Jennifer in the front seats.
Right.
With
and the
all
5
the
German
dogs in the
Shepherds in the back.
Two front seats. And my wife, poor wife, she gets embarrassed as hell by that thing. It's like, it looks like Sanford and Son. It's awful. But I love it. It's great. And the dogs all get in there. They, stick their head.
Okay, who is Lamont? And more important, Mike, who's Grady?
I think Ryan is Lamont.
Wow.
Out the window.
Which Ryan?
The one in our audience.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And we go driving down the road.
Yes, Ryan is Lamont.
I've got 2 more questions.
Sweaty nerd, are you confirming it's Ryan who's
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You big dummy?
That's right.
You big dummy. Can we get a IE buy-in from David?
I don't think
Abe, are you there?
Yeah, I don't think he's feeling too good.
Well, he's out of it. Let's get to it.
Hey guys. Off everybody. Go ahead.
David, yes, you're there. You're showing up. Would you agree that say Ryan is equivalent to Grady?
Who?
Lamont.
No, Lamont.
Lamont. I'm sorry.
Lamont?
Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought you were talking about Ryan.
We are.
Yeah, we are.
All right.
I'm confused, bro. I'm confused. I'm going back to sleep. Go back to sleep.
We can save them for later.
No, go for it.
Okay, all right.
Love the old Land Rovers, by the way. Another one of your folks has a
Andy, didn't you have the Land Rover?
That was me, yes. I had a
I brought your
1961
comment.
Land Rover as my first ever car.
Yes.
It was called the Beast, and I love it, and I really regret getting rid of it. But yeah, that was me.
So here we go.
Buddy, but go ahead. We can save them for later.
No, go for it.
Okay, all right.
Love the old Land Rovers, by the way. Another one of your folks has a 61st.
See right there. My first car, yellow Tommy tanker. My first car was a 1961 Land Rover called the Beast.
Yep. And it was great fun. And my mum is still with us, by the way. My mum loved it because we could take the roof off and we drove around like an old World War II Jeep.
Yeah.
And we had great fun in it.
And the thing was, I wasn't looking for super chats or anything. I was just looking for things about cars that was going on that Lou was getting into, thanks to Daryl and national security.
And can I say, I know we had a lot of people slacking off the comments that Daryl was putting to Lou. This showed us, actually, I always think whenever I see Lou in a normal interview and he's sat there in a suit and tie, he looks really uncomfortable. I really think he is not a person. He's a guy for combats. There you go. I wear combats all the time. as trousers. I've never been in the military, but he's a combat. He's an he's a vet. He's an ex-military guy. He's not suited to being, starched in a suit and tie.
Yeah.
And I think joining us to that show actually gave him a chance, and it gave the audience a chance to see Lou as
the person who he is.
Not,
Andy.
Yeah. And,
you know me off the show, right?
Yeah.
You know me on the show.
Yeah.
Is there any difference?
No.
Maybe a little bit more of my inflection, talking to the mic and everything else. Yeah, that's there. But Lou's the same way. You don't have to become someone fake to become on camera. If you are who you are, it works so much easier.
Yeah. You see what, with me, you get what you see, UFO Gandalf, this is not a wig, people, it is real, look.
Really quick, Treesaw TV, I see in the chat, what was your old username? It wasn't Treesaw TV like 4 or 5 years ago, and I just love to know what it was before. Please let me know.
We'll wait and see. But we get to see Lou in this channel. He was invited into your house. That's the same as all of us. We are all invited to your house,
Bob
no matter where in the world we are. But we got to see Lou as a real person, not a person to hate. And I would gladly sit down for a drink with Lou. I would gladly. As Mike knows, I offered. If Lou's ever in the United Kingdom, I used to be a volunteer at a military museum.
Oh, you want to hang out with freaking Rick Doty when he was going to come into the United Kingdom, but he never freaking reached out.
No, I don't care about the drama. If I'm going to meet Lou, I would gladly take a personal guided tour around the museum, not as Lou who he is, as a military vehicle, aficionado, as a veteran. I don't care about all the bullshit.
Turn him on to CNC equipment out of Ohio. If he has stuff from the CJ5s or CJ7s that he needs to go ahead and refurbish and get back and running, whether it's the military parts, which are red, or if it's the civilian parts, which are green, they've got the equipment, but he's got technology. Mike, you were talking about this with Lou and the generators that were running. Or was that Daryl?
That was me.
Daryl, you were talking about with Lou. I guess we haven't gotten there yet, but we have to get there, don't we?
I guess.
Yeah, I know. Who is sending a text message? Boo.
Yeah. First car with a 61 Land Rover. Wow.
Since I saw so many people that really love that question, one more car question. So, as a collector of World War II Jeeps, you have no doubt school people that WW2 Jeeps were used as stationary power sources on the battlefield via power takeoff, PTO.
That's right.
Systems that drove auxiliary generators and provided power for searchlights, floodlights, shortwave radios, radar equipment, and welding gear.
I have a PTO on one of my Jeeps going up to it's a Vietnam era Jeep, and it has a PTO in the front. A PTO.
Well, here's the question, Lou. Here's the question. Don't try and dodge this. Are you a mere collector, or are you preparing for an alien apocalypse?
Well, I may be preparing for an apocalypse, but it's not an alien apocalypse. Society, in a more serious note, the reality is that society is really only held together by a very thin illusion of principles and rules. And I've been in environments before where the fabric of society is no longer there. And at that point, it becomes every person for themselves. And that's a very scary situation to be in, especially if you are a parent with children, because you have a responsibility to protect them. But no, why I like the old Jeeps, the real reason, Daryl, is because they have, if you look at what these old Jeeps were, they're really just a thin skin of steel with a little 4-cylinder engine, with a Hurricane block, with the old L head initially, and then later on the F head. Basically a glorified lawnmower. And these little things won the war for us. These little tiny vehicles that we first called general purpose vehicles. That's where we get the term Jeep from. And by the way, in World War II, there were actually two forms of the Jeep. They looked exactly the same except for a very minor detail. But one was manufactured by the company we now know as Jeep, right? Kaiser and whatnot, Willys. And the other one was made by Ford, believe it or not, Ford Motor Company. And during the times of war, a lot of people don't know this too, during World War II, there were no civilian cars made during the war because all the material and all the manufacturing was being made towards tanks and planes and boats and Jeeps. And so these Jeeps won the war. These little tiny nothing. And so when I'm driving one of my old Jeeps, the World War II Jeep or the Korean War, the Vietnam Jeep down the road, it's amazing. It's like parting the seas. All these guys with these jacked up, beautiful Wranglers and Rubicons and CJ7s and CJ5s, you can just see it's like parting the waves. They all slow down and they all just kind of get to the side of the road and let the old man pass because they recognize that respect. They see these old war girls and they're like, you did it. Before there were these, automatic locking differentials and disconnecting sway bars and, rock crawling ratios. None of that was there. You literally had a steel tub with an engine and a 30 caliber in the back, and that was it. And good luck.
Right.
National security.
It's so interesting. So, Thomas, I'll save the last question for the people that want me to be serious.
All right. Sounds good. We got another question coming in from the audience, coming from Aliens in the Cloud podcast. But this is the point where Lou wanted to say, let's get back to that last question from Daryl. Because he wanted to get the hell out. It's okay. National news, you know how long their interview with Lou is? 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at most, maybe 15 minutes with editing. That's it. So, thanks for being here, Lou. As a podcaster, I want to help prepare people and ourselves for the new reality that comes with disclosure. What advice can you give on how to mentally prepare?
You're doing it right now, brother. You're doing it right now. So whoever wrote that Aliens in the Cloud podcast, you're doing it. Having this conversation, engaging the public, and allowing them to ask questions. And you know what? Sometimes not having an answer. That's okay. Honesty goes a long way. Sincerity goes a long way. And people see that. The one thing people always tell me is like, when they meet me, they're like, wow, Lou, you are literally exactly like you are on TV. What you see is what you get with me. And I think that's important. And as a podcaster, you have even a bigger responsibility to always be honest with your audience and engage your audience. And if you're not honest with them, then you're not doing your job. And sometimes, honesty is not knowing an answer and asking people, what they think. And I think you're doing it right now. And if you're having a podcast, let me know at some point. Love to be on it.
Awesome. Great reply on that.
You got to pass it on to Jay.
Another one coming in here. Does Lou consider water to be a big factor with UFOs, and potentially why?
Yeah, 100%. Well, there's two theories, a couple of them. One is that they might have some sort of place underneath the ocean, in the deeper parts of the ocean, where
it's safer there than on the surface.
Oh, absolutely, it is. Yeah, especially in some of the deeper parts of the ocean. We know more about the surface of the moon than we do the depths of our own oceans. So there's a lot we don't know, and if you want to find a safe place to hide, that's a great place to do it. There was also a theory for a while that in the Pentagon that maybe water is somehow being used as a fuel. And it gets a little complicated, but the bottom line is that the smaller you go down in matter and mass, the more tightly held energy is confined. So, case in point, if I were to take a glass of water and I separate the molecules of hydrogen and oxygen, right? But it's still H2O, but I separate them from themselves. You get steam. And you can do work with that. There's a lot of energy derived from that, and it's what actually led to the Industrial Revolution. In fact, if you take a glass of water and you turn it into steam, it'll occupy 1,700 times its volume. So that's a 1 times 10 to the third release volumetrically of potential energy. And then if you actually go smaller than the molecule and you actually decide to break up the molecule via exothermic reaction, that is even more. That's an order of magnitude even greater energy release. That's 1 times 10 to the fourth release, and what we call an exothermic, or think of like gunpowder or dynamite, right? An explosion. And then if you go smaller than that, you get into the atom itself, and you split up not the molecule, but the atom itself, right? That's a 1 times 10 to the fifth yield that we often express as a kiloton yield worth of energy. And as you go smaller, 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 you start releasing more and more and more energy. So if you wanted to start with a fuel source, right, and avoid having to break up molecules and then break up, you just wanted to start with breaking up an atom, you would start with the most simplest element on Earth, which is, by the way, the most abundant element in the universe, which is hydrogen. Now, the problem with hydrogen is in the natural state of the universe, it's very diffuse. It's gaseous, right? It's in gas clouds and nebulas. So it might take you a while to mine it. But there's another place that hydrogen exists in a super concentrated form, and it's in a liquid form. Turns out it's water, H2O. And as we know, 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. So if you wanted to go ahead and fuel whatever device you need to fuel, water would be a great place to start.
Yeah. They actually have recently, I've seen video recordings of it. They actually have the formation.
By the way, Thomas, forgive me for interrupting, but I want to make sure your audience knows everybody who's writing in there, I'm actually seeing. So forgive me if I can't respond to everybody.
That's me, the messages that I've been putting up.
But I'm looking at every single one of your posts regarding flatbeds and Chevys and Range Rovers. So thank you guys. I am paying attention. Go ahead, Thomas. Forgive the interruption.
I'm not sure where I was at, but I'll jump to this one then. We're talking about everything in orders of magnitude, bigger or smaller. Something you kind of danced into in the past was maybe they're not from out there. Maybe they're from a much smaller chasms that we don't realize, because talking about the ETs themselves, because if you look at like the structure of the brain and how the nerves and everything all come together, and you look at the structure of the universe, it's almost a mirror image of that kind of stuff. Are they coming from way out there, or are they coming from, way down in there?
That's a great question. Well, there's two things that you're bringing up here. One is the notion of a universal blueprint to our existence, which I believe it's very evident, very clear that that's true, right? It's called fractal geometry. And you can look at sacred geometry in the Fibonacci sequence. We see it everywhere. It's in fact, it's not even only physical, it's metaphysical. So if you take and you look at the pattern of the capillaries, or even the alveoli in the human lungs, and you compare that to the pattern of a tree, an oak tree, you will see a very similar pattern structure. And now compare that to the path that water takes. Look from a satellite view and look at a mountain. You'll see all these interesting little ridges that look like fern leaves, right? You'll see that same pattern. Look at lightning. You'll see that same pattern. Look at the human brain, the neurons, the patterns of neurons. You'll see the same pattern. Look at the large Magellanic structures of our cosmos. Look at the supercluster galaxies, superclusters of galaxies in our universe. It's all the the same pattern. And then you can look psychologically the way we have relationships, right? When you look at a terrorist network on a link chart, you see that same pattern, right? You see the way we interact with each other socially. It's the same pattern. So when you see those patterns repeated physically and in every other, metaphysically in every other way, you're forced to reconcile the fact that you're looking at something here that is a law or a rule of the greater universe, meaning it's not just a human thing, it's a universe thing. And there are patterns there. Now, going into the conversation about these things either being from out there or, outer space, inner space, or the space in between, all those are possible. If I can digress for just a minute here, this is something I've said before, and then I'm going to shut up and turn it over to Daryl here because I do have to. I can't stay on all night. When you look at the two limitations that we have, human beings, to understanding and interacting with our reality, there's two things. There is a physical limitation, and I'll get into that in a minute. And then there is a scale limitation. Well, scale limitation, what do you mean by that, Lou? Well, we'll get to that in a second. Here's what I mean. So the physical limitation is that we have 5 fundamental senses by which we judge and we interact with our universe and our environment. And for the most part, if you can't touch it, taste it, hear it, smell it, etc., it doesn't exist to us. We can't see it. And yet most of the universe lies beyond our ability to perceive. So for example, human vision, right? The way we talk to each other, see each other, and look at the clouds and the skies and telescopes, that is the electro-optical region represents only point.
And your hand is up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, actually, that the question about the water was actually posed by me, a super chat pose. I was really surprised to get such an in-depth answer. Yeah. Really, Lou really went in deep there.
Yeah, but you also brought up the stuff about the 61 Land Rover, too.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Bingo.
0.0035% of the entire electromagnetic spectrum. Now think about that. Less than 1% of 1% of the entire electromagnetic spectrum we can only perceive, and we call it visible light. Now, most of the universe lies beyond that spectrum. When you look at the cosmos today through a telescope, you see these beautiful stars and maybe a couple planets. Now, look at that same part of the night sky through a radio telescope, or look at it through the infrared telescope or ultraviolet. You'll see a completely different reality around you. You'll see complex structures and nebulas and all sorts of stuff that you can't normally see. And that's where most of reality is, right? We talk about things like dark matter and dark energy, or most of the universe is comprised of this stuff, and yet we can never ever see it, detect it, or even weigh it or observe it. So most of the universe is beyond our ability to directly perceive. Now, that's a physical limitation. Now you have another, shalom. You also have another limitation, which is a scale. Now, as infinitely large as a universe is, so if you look in any direction, right, at the universe's horizon, it's roughly 14.5 billion light years from one end that we can see in either direction. So that's roughly our universal horizon is probably about 27.
Yes, Daryl, you're putting your hand up.
Oh, no, I'm going to have to go make a drink.
Yeah.
30 billion light years across, roughly. Now, how big is that? Well, let's talk about a light year. A light year is the distance that one photon of light can travel in 1 year's time. So how fast is that? Well, a photon of light can travel at approximately 186,000 miles per second. Or, in other terms, 7.5 times around our own planet in 1 second. Now, think how far that light can go in a week, how far it can go in a year, and now think how far it can go in 25, 30 billion years, right? That's an incomprehensibly huge universe we live in, and we are this infinitesimally small speck somewhere in the middle of it. Now, as crazy as that is to try to comprehend, how many of you out there went to chemistry class in high school where you learn about Avogadro's number?
Daryl, did you? Silence. Amazing.
Right? 1 times 10 to the negative 26, I think. So 6.82 times 10 to the negative 26, maybe 23, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, my point being is that if you look at the size of our observable universe and the size of our real universe, which is actually 10 times bigger than our observable universe, it's overwhelmingly huge. In fact, scientists have estimated that there are over 200 sextillion stars just in our observable universe, which only represents 10%.
This is a shot of our observable universe, and each one of those pixels of light is a galaxy.
Yeah, some of them are actually super clusters of galaxies. So the scientists have said there are more stars in the observable universe than there are grains of sand in all the beaches in all the world together. Right. So that's just a kind of an example for you. Now, if you look at a quark, a subatomic particle, which is inside all of us, right? That is roughly the same order of magnitude that quark is to us as we are to the universe. Meaning inside every single human being, there's an equally vast in scale amount of space, right? And we as human beings can only interact with 1 or 2 degrees order of magnitude up or down. Otherwise, simply the universe is either too big or too small. We'll never be able to directly interact with it. And yet, as we know, statistically, that's where most of reality actually lies. So when people say things like, well, where are these things from? Are they from outer space or inner space? Or could be all of it. It's an incredibly complex and huge universe that we live in. And we're now beginning to realize with ideas like M theory and interdimensional observations of certain subatomic particles and the way they behave, we're beginning to realize that the Newtonian, even to some degree, the Einstein idea of the model of our reality universe is not so much.
Yeah. Great thought on that. Now, Daryl, you've got a question. I think I know what the question is. Is it about the pink tutu?
I am a Gemini. I like long walks on the beach and pina coladas.
Daryl, go ahead. You're muted.
Go ahead, Daryl. Yeah, mute button's on.
My bad. So I'm figuring out what it's like to be a hated person on a podcast now. But I'm going to go ahead and give you this anyway. So let me set this up so you don't get too worried. I pick people that are not current military, currently your peers, or politicians. This is a rapid fire question. If an alien force spokesperson came to you and said to select from the following list, those to come with them and learn, experience all the mysteries of the universe, come back and help prepare the human race for disclosure, who would you pick? A simple yes or no would do. Starting off with an easy one. Stephen Greer. Does he get a seat on that ship?
You know what? No, you know what? Yes. Ooh. Because humility, you're never too old to learn humility.
All right. Robert Bigelow. Answer.
Absolutely.
Dr. James Lukatsky.
Absolutely.
Bob Lazar.
Sure.
Eric Davis. Dr. Eric Davis.
Absolutely.
Jeffrey Mishlove.
I don't know that individual.
He won Bigelow's contest for consciousness proving.
Yeah, I heard about it. I unfortunately just don't know much about it.
Okay, all right. We'll pass on that one. UAP Gerb.
Again, maybe for humility's sake.
Yes.
And
oh, Daryl, my God. National security definitely dials in. Let's get back to that one more time. Here we go.
UAP Gerb.
Again, maybe for humility's sake.
Yes.
And then, a polite apology afterwards.
Jacques Vallée.
Speaking of Gerb, since you brought it up, Daryl.
Wait, hold on. Just two more. Avi Loeb.
Absolutely.
Lou Elizondo.
I'd give up my seat for somebody else.
Oh my God, that's a perfect answer.
Good answer.
All right, I'll go.
All right. So the question is, Has anybody taken you up on the opportunity to take the polygraph, where the loser has to come out and say it in a pink tutu that they were? No, nobody.
No, and I keep saying I'll do it. Let's go. Let's go. The pink slips, baby. You put your money where your mouth is. Let's go.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Mike, back to you.
So, guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to color a little bit because my wife has work very early in the morning.
Okay. As soon as I hear this, watch my eyes.
So, guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to color a little bit.
There we go. There's the look saying, "Oh shit, here we go. We got to
bring this to an end." Doesn't it last for like 10 more minutes?
Huh?
Doesn't it go like 10 more minutes though?
About 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes. Okay.
I got the message in from Mike saying, go ahead and play the fucking video of the stuff from Nikki that we have out there. But I would actually play the stuff from Malta versus Nikki, but that's just personal. But, you know, I can hear the thing, his wife's already knocking on the wall. And this thing, I get it.
My wife has work very early in the morning, and
you've got the little sign from the person off stage that it's time to close down the show.
No, actually, I got the tapping on the back of the wall here.
It works.
Yeah, she has to wake up very early.
Message real quick.
So
on your phone.
Who?
You, Thomas.
No, I'm not going to do that, Mike. I'm sorry.
Check your phone. I think you have a message from somebody.
From me.
No time.
Oh, from you.
No, we're good, Mike. We're good on this one.
We're good? Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
So, but anyways, listen, gentlemen, as always, thank you to you for doing what you're doing, and thank you to your amazing audience, even those out there who, don't like me, don't agree with me. That's okay.
It's a community. We're all part of it. I open the doors to anybody that wants. Yeah, we're a ragtag group of individuals. We're more of the Han Solos than Luke Skywalkers, but who wouldn't want to have the freaking Millennium Falcon and a fucking Wookiee along with you, right, Daryl?
Yeah. Well, the Wookiee, if he's taking his flea and tick medication, yeah.
Bingo.
You've got the Wookiee with me. I've got the hair for it. There you go.
We'll take Andy in the red limo.
No, he's more like the Obi-Wan Kenobi with the long hair.
Thank you for being part of this conversation. It is truly appreciated. The boat is big enough for everybody to fit. No one's more important than anybody else. Certainly I am not.
And we're waiting with bated breath and can't wait to see where you take it.
Well, let's get back on your show again here soon.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
We would love that. Yeah.
So, all right, guys.
That channel.
Well, Mike and Daryl and Thomas, thank you. And by the way, to your audience out there who have these great questions, especially with the cars, speaking my love language.
Daryl drives a really nice Ferrari.
And he has a dog named Ferrari. So yeah.
Daryl, I got to ask. Do you have a Ferrari?
Yeah, he does.
What I got to ask, which model is it? An old 308 or?
It's an F430.
Oh, the 430 is a fantastic
Spider convertible.
I always wanted an F355 so bad. The problem is to change the oil. That when you got 10,000 mile service, they used to have to pull the entire engine out of the car. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that. Did you know, by the way, Daryl, you probably know this, that the Maserati actually uses a Ferrari block, but they paint the block blue.
And it's also different. It's not a flat plain crank. It's the opposite.
Correct. Yeah, the internals will change, but the 4 Series on the Ferraris I still think are some of the best engineered Ferraris in the history of the company. I mean, I'm partial, but I think the engineering behind them is absolutely incredible.
No out of bay service needed for that engine.
It's great, and naturally aspirated. It still pumps out great horsepower, and the balance on the high revs, you can't touch it. I mean, is it the fastest car? No, but pound for pound, is it one of the best performing cars? It is. You can't compare it.
0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. You're right. It's not the fastest, but I will take Tim's Lamborghini and smoke it. So
I'll tell you, the Porsche though have again the knock on the door, but the Porsche, man, they've got some great engineering too. That some of those 911s, if you know how to tweak those engines, they are smoking hot. So
I've had one.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lou. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for Jennifer for allowing Lou to come out.
I'll let her know.
So she made it back here with the trucks and everything. You got it out?
We finally made the big move out. I bought let's just say it's a fixer-upper. A lot of fixing, a lot of upping. But I made the mistake a long time ago when I first met my wife. She knew I was very handy and I was in construction as a kid and electrical and plumbing. So anytime anything needs to be done, I'm usually voluntold to do it. And so, yeah, I'm now contemplating having to do a new kitchen and bathrooms and
Yeah, I just tore down the 6-burner decor range in the kitchen over the weekend.
Again, if you're attacked,
it's been broken for about 8 years and finally stopped.
Reach out to me.
Thomas and I had the parts sitting on the freaking counter waiting for me to finally do it. But of course, I fixed one thing, but I broke something else.
Thomas, I bought this house sight unseen. It is a time warp from the late 1970s.
And so included?
Dude, Brady Bunch. It is Brady Bunch. It is think of the typical
popcorn ceilings,
harvest gold and avocado green.
Ooh. That's like early 70s. My mom had the avocado green stuff. My aunt had the harvest gold.
It's painful. I mean, look, if you want to open up a museum, circa 1970s, you're perfect because, I mean, you got it.
Don't throw away the light fixtures. You can sell them on YouTube for big bucks.
Dude, it's insane.
So a DVD to get together with you and your wife for a little movie night, glasses of wine, etc. The Money Pit with Tom Hanks.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. And unfortunately, she married a perfectionist, right? So everything I do has to be like perfect. And I drive myself and her too insane sometimes doing it. But gentlemen, it's been an honor and privilege. Mike,
honestly,
Daryl,
thank you for
Thomas,
being here. Thank you for the
audience. Guys. Thank you. Thank you for an amazing.
See, that was an extra 10 minutes, Daryl.
Yeah.
Because I brought up your car.
Yeah.
And it just worked out. It just turned into a natural conversation, talking about everything that's going out there, the life outside of UFOs, which is great to hear insight into the life beyond UFOs.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have like you said, he's coming into your living room, he's your guest. You're not going to just sit there
right now.
You're just not going to sit there and grill your guest. You're going to go, hey, what's going on? What about those cars? Blah, blah, blah. You're not going to just grill the guy all the time.
No.
And, the comments from some of the people at that particular time were like, oh, wasted question, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? F you. I mean, this is how you treat your friends.
Yeah. Friends, family, the whole thing. There's nothing higher than that. Someone you respect to have a conversation with, have that and bring in, people from the community, go ahead and ask the questions. I could have gone in and looked at the interview of Elizondo and brought it in and had like 45 minutes of exact questions where I wanted to go. I know where I wanted to start it. But the thing is, when you get into a conversation with a person like that, you just have to carve with it and, take it wherever it goes, because it usually goes in a direction that no one ever anticipates. And if you control it, it comes out very controlled. But if you just go with the flow of things, you always get something that's just so much more magical.
Yeah, and why don't you want something more like that? What? Magic is cool.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. Talking about what it's all about.
Oh, what's it all about, Thomas?
I don't know, Mike.
It's music.
But it's been several hours. We started at 2 o'clock. We're supposed to be done at 4. It's 5:21. My God, we've gone 3 hours and 21 minutes. Holy shit, would you take a look at that? Where did we lost that? I think that's over here on
What the hell is even that?
Absolutely. I want to thank everybody for your wonderful super chats tonight. Yes, we did get some. Let's go ahead and bring this up and see where they came from. First of all, we have one from Monica. Thank you very much. Happy Disclosure Tonight Day, coming from Brendan, England. Thank you very much, as well as Light Melinda. And getting to Island Spook 8794. We appreciate everyone's love and support. Thank you for coming out today, Daryl.
Thanks for having me as always, Thomas.
Mike
and all
is still
the effort you put
there.
into it.
You alive? Got a pulse.
Well, Susan, go naked.
Well, we can go there, but no. We're not going to go naked because that would be something I don't think we, keep a lot of, of our members around to tell you the truth because, no, please, no.
Avert your eyes.
With that thought in mind, if you've been watching the show hanging out tonight, go ahead and please subscribe to Disclosure tonight. We love everybody for what you're bringing into the show tonight. It's been a fun one. It's Saturday. Got to have fun with it.
Saturday.
Yeah, I know. As we usually say at the end of every episode of Disclosure tonight, eyes open, no fear, be safe, everybody. But
go back to Party City where you belong.
Absolutely. We'll catch you on the flip side. See you tomorrow, everybody. Take care now. Bye-bye. Catch you then.